Like actually way better headphones than the ones over there. I thought those were good ones. These seem to be better.
Right.
Anyways, what's up? You gonna do the
ready?
Intro? Yeah, let's do
You
it.
ready?
Yeah,
all
let's
right.
fucking do it.
Welcome to Unrolled. It's episode 108, I think.
Yeah.
It's actually Christmas Day. If you watched last week's episode, I said, "Are you guys gonna want to do it next Monday?" And I brought it up several times, and everybody said, "Yeah." And so far, we're down a guy. You had to leave some family stuff, and I was done with everything, so it wasn't a big deal for me. But
I didn't have to leave family stuff, but I could have stayed and hung out, right?
Right.
Like, so we do our stuff on Christmas Eve is our Christmas, just because of split families and all that stuff. Everybody has to go different places, so to make everybody happy, we just Santa comes on yesterday morning for us,
right.
so everything's cool. Like, but today I definitely could have just chilled, hung out and stuff.
Right.
So
I brung it up.
yeah, I know, and you were
I got video recorded evidence. Motherfuckers. Told you.
I'm here. You can't yell at me.
Mike still might show up. We don't know. Of course, that's Drew across, and I'm Chuck, and no guest. We're just going to do a little short one here, I guess. And
Just keep the train rolling.
I don't know. Yeah, just get something out.
Yeah.
So, got to keep putting stuff out. So,
do
you watch Lamageddon?
You know what? I think I
God
do
damn it.
tomorrow. No, tomorrow I have absolutely zero to do at all. Nothing to do tomorrow. So I think that I'm just gonna just chill all day and just watch shit I need to catch, like just to see, hang out and just relax.
Got to watch Lamageddon.
Dude,
Good movie.
Yeah,
It's a good movie.
dude,
Really is.
Speaking of the movies, you know how busy the movies were today? They were fucking nuts.
Really?
Yeah, there was hundreds of people there.
Huh.
I don't know if it's a thing,
I think it is a
Is it
thing.
Christmas Day thing?
I think
Yeah.
so, yeah.
We went and saw the new
Yeah.
Willy Wonka.
I don't know. I don't go to. There's a new Willy Wonka.
It's really
There's
good.
another one.
It's like a prequel.
It's not the Johnny Depp one.
No,
It's a
like
prequel.
Yeah. So that I don't know what else he's been in, but the movie Dune from the book. It was based off the book.
Old movie, new movie.
New movie Dune.
The new movie's better than the old movie. The old movie's fucking weird.
Well, the kid, like the long-haired kid,
yeah, I don't.
he's
I'm not
whatever.
gonna remember, but
He's
yeah.
Willy Wonka,
Okay.
and it's really good. It's actually like not fucking weird like the Johnny. I mean, I like weird shit, but Johnny Depp's just a kind of weirdo sometimes.
Well, the first one was weird too. The whole premise is weird.
Yeah, but like this dude, he nailed it. And there's a couple times in it like your
is this-
eyes kind of sweat.
So is this where Willy Wonka discovers a new land?
He shows up to wherever this town is, tries to set up a chocolate shop, but there's a fucking chocolate cartel that's like stopping him from opening. It's a like conglomeration of other chocolate makers.
Willy Wonka meets Pablo Escobar.
It is. See, so Wonka shows up in Colombia, right?
Right.
I mean, it could be the same story, but anyway, so he gets a band of misfits to kind of like, and they join together, and I won't ruin it, spoilers, but it's really good, and he ends up starting his factory, and he meets the Oompa Loompas for the first time, and everything.
Right. He discovers a new land.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Well, he was what they said was he was in debt to the Oompa Loompas at first, so he showed up to their island, and he stole their cocoa beans. There was only like 4 of them, because that's all they had.
4 cocoa beans?
Yes, and he stole them. And so
4 total?
Yeah. And so he was in debt to them to repay them 10,000-fold for what he stole. So this Oompa Loompa keeps showing up, and he thinks it's a dream, like a trip or something, right? He's like, this little orange guy keeps showing up in the middle of the night and stealing my shit. I just know it. And he's like, and the girl's like, yeah, whatever, dude. So he finally catches him in a trap. And the guy tells him the deal. He's like, you owe us money. You got to fucking pay up, Wonka. So Wonka survives the cartel struggle with the help of that Oompa Loompa who wants his fucking chocolate back.
Okay.
It's intense. It was intense.
It's intense. Okay.
Yeah, so that's a new Wonka in a nutshell, the prequel. It's
I
pretty
generally hate prequels, but I watched, what was it, Prey, the Predator prequel?
with the Native Americans and stuff.
Yeah, that was good.
It was pretty good.
I liked that one. I thought that was pretty good. So I generally don't go in for prequels. Just quit.
I thought they were making another one of those.
What?
Another Prey one, like a similar.
Oh, I don't know.
Vibe.
I don't know.
But like the Aztecs or some shit. I don't know. All right. But yeah, that one was good. Dude, when he wrecked that fucking bear in the creek or whatever it was, the Predator.
Oh, I don't remember it that much. I don't remember that much.
Oh, like the one dude, like the dude was like hunting a bear.
Right. Oh, right. Okay.
The Native American guy was hunting a bear, and then the fucking Predator comes and just wrecks this bear in the river. And the dude's like, "Holy shit, what just happened?"
He says, "Fuck you and your bear. You ain't warm this winter, motherfucker."
Dude, I always thought that those could have been better, like in a different,
the Predators.
Yeah, they were good, but I'm saying like not that they were bad.
The first one was good.
The second one,
the original was good.
Yeah, no, it was good. No, but like when he showed up, so even the Danny Glover one was okay, but when they showed all the history stuff at the end, it could have gone a bunch of different ways from that better than an Alien versus Predator situation. Do you know what I mean?
Well, they're just capitalizing at that point. Right. That's what they're doing. They're supposed to, Sarah said she read someplace today on the phone. She told me that there was going to be a new Gremlins. A Gremlins 3. Leave it the fuck alone.
Wow, that's not okay.
Leave it the fuck alone. Because there's no original ideas.
No, there's not. No, yeah, so on the way to the theater, like, I got, like, the Sirius in my car now because I got rid of the truck because I got rid of the car. And,
got rid of the car?
Yeah.
Why?
It was a nuisance.
What was the nuisance about it?
It was just loud and obnoxious, and everybody wanted to race every second. And like, when you're trying to be like just chill, it's cool if it was like a thing to go take out and just drive around randomly,
right,
for fun,
right.
But all the time it gets fucking old. What
kind of truck did you get?
A Sierra, GMC. It made it so I wasn't upside down.
Oh, okay.
So like,
were you upside down on the other one?
Oh yeah, a lot. Which I didn't think I would be because they're not making them in a wide body scat, but still was. I looked at all the solds for it. They printed me the list. My brother's, so he's not lying to me. But he printed me the list of all the sold ones like in the last year.
Right.
And they gave me more than anybody got for theirs. So.
Well, on paper they gave you more.
Yeah.
They don't actually give you shit. On paper they gave you more.
Yeah.
You don't actually get a fucking thing.
No.
So.
But like that truck had like a 11.5 or 12 grand rebate on it, so that ate up most or all the upside downness. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
But it's just a normal old, no hopes and dreams, just dad.
4-cylinder?
Just dad. No, it's an 8. It's a V8, but just no hopes and dreams, just dad truck. So it's responsible, dude. It's
responsible.
I didn't believe how much it saved on insurance.
Oh yeah, because that fucking what was that? That was it was a demon, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. I mean, close, yeah.
Yours wasn't a demon? I thought yours was a demon.
I don't know, maybe it was, I don't know.
I thought it was. I thought it had the demon thing on the demon head on badge on it. I guess that don't necessarily mean anything, but
yeah, I mean, dude, it was so. I wrote to my insurance guy. I sent him the new VIN and shit. He's like, all right. He called me back and he said, that saved you $750 every 6 months. I was like, holy shit, dude.
Right. Who you got insurance with?
Country.
I need to call them and ask them maybe.
Travis is
fucking hate Allstate.
You know the guy. It's Travis. He was on the podcast. Yeah. They fucking you around?
Oh, did they raise my rate $130
a month?
Yeah. So I called. I'm like, why? Oh, well, you missed these 2 easy pays, so you lose that discount. You missed those 2 easy pays. The money was there. I've even got proof from my bank saying the money was there. And you fucked up and did something wrong. Mm-hmm. Well, so the guy up in Godfrey at Standiford's office, he goes, well, it'll come back insufficient funds. The only way it does that is if you don't have the money in there. And I go, bud, the money was in there. I said, my bank doesn't say it comes back insufficient funds. I said, maybe that's a generic thing that your computer screen pops up, but that's not what my bank said. My bank flagged you as fraud because you tried twice.
Yeah, the first time.
And you had something screwed up. And so they flagged you as fraud, so you didn't get it, and then you didn't get it the second time. The second time's when they called me. Mm-hmm. Second time's when the bank called me to tell me that they didn't get I didn't even know they didn't get their payment. I thought they got their payment. 3 weeks later, I find out they didn't get their payment. So I lose that. And I go, okay, so I lose $15 a month. That's still not $130.
Right.
So you got $115 here you have to explain. Oh, rate increases. Okay, what kind of rate increases? For what? Oh, just general across the board rate increases. No, they don't fucking work for me. What rate increase? What increased? Where? When?
Yeah.
Why? Why am I the only person that got these rate increases? I know lots of people with insurance. Nobody else's insurance went up. Mine went up $115.
Yeah, no accident, none of that shit. Like it doesn't.
Dude, I ain't had an accident since 1996.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
No at-fault accident since 1996. Perfectly clear driving record. No accidents. Nothing. $130.
Yeah.
Oh, so I called the 1-800 number. I called Allstate themselves. Screw them up there. Called Allstate themselves. Oh, it's just general rate increase. That's all they would tell me. General rate increase. Well, fuck you. It's just a fuck you weekend is what it is.
That doesn't seem
You're stuck,
right.
bitch.
I would.
It's a con.
Yeah.
They're all cons.
I'll send you Travis's info again if you want to call him. You know, at least he would be honest with you and give you a quote and like tell you what the fucking deal is.
State Farm won't even let me have insurance no more, and I don't know what the fuck I did to them.
They're fucking rip-off artists anyways. I mean, it's all rip-off, but like...
All of it is.
Yeah.
All of it is. You have to have it so they can charge you whatever the fuck they want to charge you.
And then you get in an accident, and you take it to the shop, and they won't even approve some of the shit that you want to get done. You know,
well, yeah, that's my problem with Allstate is they wouldn't put... So when I first got that van, I had State Farm. I insured that van through State Farm, and State Farm let me put my value on it. Mm-hmm. So I put my value at $25,000. Okay. So that's what my payout was no matter what. If that got totaled, I got $25,000. No argument. That was my payout. Allstate wouldn't let me do that. So if something happens to that van, I have to fight with it. I'll have to fight every inch of fucking everything over it. Every inch of it. I'll have to fight with them about it. All of it. Yeah.
Like, do they want you to like, get it appraised or something? Or does it even matter? They just go by...
They wouldn't do shit. They wouldn't do nothing. They gave me full coverage. But they wouldn't give me a monitor. Well, we'll have to, what we do is we see what market value is. And I told the lady, I go, market value is more than 25. I said, I want you to put it at 25. Mm-hmm. And she goes, well, we'll have to see what market value is. Market value is 33, not 25.
Yeah, so even undercutting.
So, I mean, where you at? And well, market value is 18.5 to 33. It's in that range.
Just based on like conditions.
So, but since they're gonna fucking fuck with me about it, because I know they are, they're gonna be assholes. It's 33. Here's one for 33. I want this one. Buy this one. You owe me this one. I want 33. 33. Mm-hmm. 30. That's gonna be okay. I'll call my lawyer. He'll get 33 plus. So, enjoy that. So it's all a con, dude. Insurance is fucking one of the biggest scams. Did you know you get punished for shopping around?
Huh?
So insurance companies have a credit. They have a credit system like your credit score.
Okay.
They have a system like that, and it goes through a company called Nexus Lexus. That's what it goes through. And when you call to get an insurance quote, it gets reported to that Nexus. Everything you do gets reported to that Nexus. Everything. All of it. And if somebody reports something bad, it's kind of like having a bad credit. Someone reporting something wrong on your credit, you have to go through and dispute it to get rid of it. Yeah.
How do you access that report?
You have to call. You didn't even know it existed.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah.
So how do you access that report? You didn't even know it existed. Exactly. I found it existed through farmers. So I had a rep screw up and tell me, oh, well, the Nexus has you listed as at fault. A rep screwed up because I'm going to assume they're not supposed to tell you. Because when I said the who's this company, right? Mm-hmm. And they kind of stumbled a little bit on it. And they were like, well, because I'm assuming that they fucked up.
Yeah. And
I wasn't supposed to know. So I found out, and I contacted Nexus. I mean, you can find out. It's not like a hidden secret. It's not a secret, but they just don't make it widely available to you. Because if they do, then you can go through and find all this shit out on your own. You can request a copy of your report and everything. You know, you can get all this shit. They have to give it to you. So, but every time you get an insurance quote, it goes on there, and then the next company sees that you're shopping for insurance, and you actually you get punished for it. Your rate then makes your rate go up, makes your quote go up.
Just like if you were having somebody ding your credit for your score.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild as fuck.
It makes your rate go up. Yep.
Just because you want a better rate.
Because you want to shop around to find a better rate. Yep. There's only 2 or 3 major insurance companies. The rest, all these fucking Allstate and State Farm and Country and Geico and Progressive, they're all through there's like 1 or 2, maybe 3 major underwriters. The rest of them are just selling those people's insurance. There's not that many out there. I don't know if there's 2 or 3, but whatever. There's not that many out there.
That's wild.
And they're just selling those people's insurance through their name. So you think you have Allstate, but really you have National or some shit like that. You know what I mean? You have some other parent company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did you have a good time today? Did you do anything fun?
We're going to my parents' house on Christmas, and we do Christmas Eve too.
Okay.
So.
Oh, that's cool.
So.
Was that when your granddaughter came over and everything? And
yeah.
Did that shit? That's fun.
Yeah.
Did she have a good one?
She doesn't. She's too young for that.
I know,
right,
but she's only 2. She's excited though. She was
no, she doesn't care about none of it.
Damn.
She gets a pull a toy out that that makes her excited. She'll get excited for a little while, and then, but she's 2. She's over that shit real quick too. All right, I'm done.
Yeah,
what's next?
That's like a roll.
What's next? So, nope. Yeah, we do it Christmas Eve too because you're dealing with 3 different families now, mm-hmm. So you got fucking 3 different groups of this, that, and the other, and I don't much care. I just listen. Tell me where I gotta go and when I gotta go.
Yep,
that's it. So
I don't know. Just like my birthday, my mother still never didn't write me and tell me Merry Christmas or talk to the kids and tell them Merry Christmas or anything.
Yeah,
it's a real interesting thing.
Does your sister talk to your mother?
She has to because she lives fucking next door to her.
She was mad Wednesday. I think she was mad.
Well, I asked her. I was already gone. Yeah,
I think she was mad.
She's had a lot going. Well, we switched systems at the office, and so it's been a big fucking...
Wasn't that big of a deal. I could have waited till the next day.
No, I wasn't. No, dude, that was the whole point. It was like, she's there. She's literally a block away. She can come. You know what I mean?
It didn't take her long to get there.
Yeah, she lives a block away. It's not a big deal. So
she was like, "Here you go. That's all I got." And I was like, "All right, here you go." And she goes, and I go, "That's what he's been charging me." And she goes, "Well, let me call." And I was like, "You've been here every time I bought it.
Yeah,
I've handed you the money every time I bought it." But I was like, "Okay, that's fine. I need to go wash my hands. Can I go wash my hands?"
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, what's wrong with you? Just like, you know what I mean? Like, but it's okay. But yeah, she's
nice. You could just tell she wasn't very happy she had to come back.
No, so like anything.
She's never been mean or rude or nothing. So.
Well, see, I actually invited her tonight to come talk with us, just shoot the shit if she wasn't doing anything with her family.
Oh yeah.
She's busy, but she has an RBF all the time, you know.
Oh yeah.
But that's just how it is. It's her face, you
know,
and it's whatever. But we didn't switch softwares. We have the same software, but instead of going from a server, like a local server, everything they're stopping support of that. So everything has to move to the cloud server.
Oh Jesus!
So they migrated everything, but not everything migrated. So like all the notes and stuff that I use and blah 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 blah, like all these people all week, nothing hadn't migrated properly, nothing was done, even though they said it was, but you can't see it until you start actually using it. It only goes live at a certain time.
Right.
So everything's wrong, and functionally, it's worse than it was before, and aesthetically, it's worse. So it's like I'm going from a brand new Macintosh like operating system, like beautiful, slick, smooth, integrated, to like now we're back on like playing Oregon Trail and shit, doing my notes. Is what it looks like, and I'm like, what is going on? Like, why do we do this? Like, we have to, and it's stupid. So it was a rough week on top of
who has to
me, because that's the software we use.
You can't just tell them to go fuck themselves and get different software.
Yeah, but then you're even worse because now you're in a whole new system. It's the same general setup. It's just an extra 2 steps in everything you're trying to do. It's harder. You know what I mean? So it takes longer. And they didn't do everything right. So I'm sure over time it'll change and it'll be good and better and stuff and this and that. But right now, no good. And then then it was on top of, being Christmas week and trying to get everything to these families we had adopted and this and that, and it was just a lot going on.
Hey, I've been gonna ask. I don't know if this is the right place to ask or not, though. You post pictures of that little girl all the time.
That's Lavender.
What's wrong with her?
That's
kind of a fucked up way to ask, but
no, Lavender is my niece. That's Melissa's sister's daughter.
Okay.
She's going to be 7. We just celebrated her birthday last night at the Christmas celebration too. She has something called Edwards syndrome. Edwards syndrome is it's a chromosomal disorder. Okay, like trisomy 21 is Down syndrome, right? Okay, so that's Down syndrome. Well, there's an extra chromosome on the 21th chromosome.
Okay.
She has Edwards, which is T18. It's the same thing. There's an extra chromosome on the 18th chromosome, and it's, according to medical textbooks and what all the doctors say, that's incompatible with life. So she is not supposed to be alive. So when she was in Rose's womb, 4 or 5 months, Rose went and got a wellness check and make sure everything was going okay. And they said, hey, they did her scan, say an ultrasound. I might get the story wrong a little bit, but the gist of it's correct. They said, hey, there's a problem here. Your daughter has basically her cranial circumference was larger than it was supposed to be, and the amniotic fluid was weird. So they're like, okay, let's do a genetic test to see if she has any issues. Came back, yes, she had that issue. They told her, they said, hey, this is the syndrome. Typically, they'll pass in the womb. If you're lucky, if she's born, she might live a week, but it could kill you during the delivery. So our suggestion is to go ahead and just terminate the pregnancy and be done with it. And Rose was like, no, like to get into her business too much, but she said, no, that's, whatever time I have with my daughter inside my belly, like that's right. That's my time, and I'm going to, whether it hurts me or not, I'm going to enjoy that time until she's not here, because that's just how she is as a mother, right? She's great. Right. And so Lavender was born. She made it a week. She wasn't supposed to. She made it a month. She's 7 now, not supposed to be here. And now she hasn't had her problems, but so for example, she was at the party last night. If any of us were sick at all or have been sick, we can't go because she has zero immune system. All right. So it could be just a simple cold, and it could be almost deadly to her, right? She was on a respirator for I think 4 or 5 years. She's got strong enough where she doesn't need to do that anymore. She still has to get some suction from the trach occasionally. She has to get it sucked out, I guess, like Rose does it. And then she eats through a thing called a G tube. It's a little button on her side, or G button. And but she's the happiest person in the whole world. You know what I mean? She goes to therapy and every week, and is trying to learn how to walk and all these things, and she's amazing. She's amazing. She's incredibly strong, and Rose is amazing for doing that and being the mom that a lot of people probably wouldn't do. But yeah, it's great. Yeah, so that's Lavender's story, and so she's Rose's this whole journey, because she's so vested in Lavender, but also because the whole community of that, right? Because there's so many people that go in, they tell the mothers that they can't, it's going to die, baby's right. Going to die. Do the humane thing, it's still, it's a life. It's a life. It's whatever you want to say, but it's still a life, and you make that decision. But she's advocated for Lavender so hard that she's still here, and she helps other mothers advocate through telling the story of what she did for Lavender online, and so she gets to spread that word. And so when she shares the things for the Loving Lavender page on Facebook, I always make sure to share them so people know, because there could be some girl, or some woman that is pregnant and she doesn't have anybody to talk to, and she doesn't know, and this doctor's telling her this, and it may not be the case in her case, but at the same time she might be able to right. have right. some kind of relationship with that child outside of the right. womb, so
yeah, they can't predict, they don't know.
No, they
right.
don't.
They don't know.
So it was if you look at the stats, it was she's in some kind of 0.000001 of people that survive, you know. But is that because they terminate them before then? They don't give them the chance, you know?
Right.
Or, and then, you know, I said it does take a lot of effort to maintain that. So you got to have the person who's willing to take on that responsibility, I think.
Right.
So, but cheers to you, Rose, for being awesome.
Right. So. Sounds terrible, but good. And you kind of uplifting at the same time, I guess.
Yeah, it is very uplifting because she is an, like, if you ever went to her, like, to that page on Facebook or even on Instagram, and, you know,
I just see you share stuff, and I just always wondered stuff like that. I wonder about stuff like that when I see stuff like that. Like I'm kind of morbid. Like if I see somebody that died and they were young, I go try and find out what happened.
Yeah, because you don't know.
Because it's like, man, they were only like 25. Why? What happened?
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck happened? So, yeah, it's just how the hell, you know, what went wrong there?
Yeah.
So,
but and I mean, I don't know if she'd ever have the time to do it, but just for her to, like, you know, because I mean, some people listen to the podcast. She'd be a person to have on to discuss that and kind of the journey, because it is. I mean, obviously, it's not like the kind of mom setup here for somebody to come in, but at the same time, if it helps spread the message about that for her, that would be really cool. So
super sad.
I mean, it's great though. I mean, last night, like I said, you know, Lavender's there and we're all singing and she's smiling ear to ear and just so happy that, and you know, obviously she's nonverbal, but you can tell by her, her reactions and everything else that she is so happy, and just, it's amazing. Yeah. So it's cool. But I don't think Mike's going to come, dude.
I don't think he's going to come either.
I
knew it. I told y'all. I said it. I said it a couple times.
I know. Should I be like...
The next Monday is New Year's Day, so that should be okay. It's not New Year's Eve. It's New Year's Day.
Right.
Right, so that should be fine, right?
I think so. I mean... I don't know. Oh, they're here. They're here recording. Jeez.
Yeah, that should be next Monday. Should be all right because it's New Year's Day. So all your partying and celebrating's on New Year's Eve. So, because I was wondering about that, I was like, "Fuck, that means if Christmas is on a Monday, that means it's either New Year's Eve Monday or I never remember. It's either New Year's Eve Monday or New Year's Day Monday. So if it's New Year's Eve, there ain't no way they're showing up. No way. Mike's not coming New Year's Eve for sure. You're not coming. I'm sure you guys got stuff that you do.
It all changes all the time, you know, like...
I sit in my house, and I've always sat in my house. I've never gone out, not since I was probably 19 have I went out for New Year's Eve.
I mean, it's really not the best time in the whole world. You got all kinds of idiots out and everything else, you know?
Like you got,
deal with it.
The cops are everywhere. Idiots are everywhere. People are drunk everywhere.
There's idiots there everywhere.
It just never seemed like a good time to me. And plus, when you're back then, now probably not so bad, but back then when you're a pot smoker and not really a drinker, you're driving around smoking fucking pot. And your chances of hitting a cop are, who the fuck wants to spend the night in jail?
No, yeah, especially, yeah.
So your chances are higher. Plus, you're a hoodlum on top of that, because I was a hoodlum, so I always had a warrant for my arrest. So, man, fuck that shit, because ain't nobody going to be there till Wednesday, you know what I mean? So they ain't coming in New Year's Day. They get that day off, so you're stuck that whole day. You ain't going to court in the fucking next morning. So you're stuck there at least 2 days no matter what. So, fuck, imagine if it was on a Friday. Well, I guess you're still stuck the same time if it was on a Friday.
Melissa wrote me and she was getting pulled over the other day. I guess, it's been, I've never known her I've never had her once get pulled over, but in the time we've been together, but she gets pulled over and she's like, I hope I don't have a warrant for my arrest. I think one time she got pulled over and she did. It was for like an unpaid ticket or something.
Right.
She had to go to jail.
Sometimes, like I've had them pull me over before, and I've looked at them and went, I've got a traffic warrant. And I go, I know I got it. I just ain't been up there yet. I said I got to go up there. I know I got it. And sometimes I've had this happen one time. The cop goes, well, I won't run you then. You're not got nothing on you. You don't got, he pulled me over for something fucking stupid though. So, I knew I had a warrant. And I just told him. So, dude, I used to get popped. One time I sat every day in a week in jail, every night. Every night for a whole week, I sat in jail on the same fucking warrant.
So
same
so
fucking
they let you
warrant.
go on it, and then they.
It was before that was all computerized. So what would happen is, I got picked up. I think it was like on these motherfuckers, man. I got picked up on a Sunday, and I'm gonna fucking bitch at them when we're done. Anyway, I got picked up on a Sunday.
To drop some bars.
Sunday or on Monday, I can't remember what it was. It was a Sunday or a Monday. I got picked up, and go to jail. Get out the next day. Get recogned the next day. I got picked up that Monday. So you get out like 11 o'clock. They let you walk about 11 o'clock when you go to court. So I got pulled over again at like 2:30. Paperwork hadn't made it through yet. So I got arrested again. So there's nothing they can fucking do. I have to wait. So I get to go to court the next day, and judge goes, well, we just released you on this morning, and you know what you get? Sorry, he's recogned. He can go. Dismissed is what happens. They dismiss it. Yeah. So I got out, and so this time I go straight home, and I'm not gonna go nowhere, right? And then my buddy convinces me to go. I don't know. We went someplace, not even that far away. He got pulled over. I got picked up again. Right. Paperwork hadn't made it again. Where the fuck is this paperwork? So I made it all the way to, I think it was Saturday. And I got picked up the next day. And then I got picked up the same fucking warrant. And then Saturday I got pulled over. I was driving my truck. It's no way, right? No way this shit didn't go through by now. I'm driving my truck. I get pulled over because the truck's smoking out the back. It was a fucking piece of junk, and it was smoking. He thought it was on fire. Literally, this cop comes running up telling me to get out of the truck. It's on fire. And he runs to me and he goes, you got a warrant? I go, dude, I don't have a warrant. I've been picked up for this thing. Oh, I go, call your department. They're going to tell you that I've been arrested. I've been in all week this week for this warrant. This warrant. I said, I don't have a warrant. I promise you I don't have a warrant. He goes, I'll call, but you're sitting in the back of my car the whole time I call. I go, fine. He calls and they go, no, he doesn't have a warrant. The paperwork, it's not going through for whatever reason. To backed up or whatever the fuck. Laziness more than likely. And so he goes, all right, you can go. And I go, yeah, I'm going to go home. I said, I ain't going nowhere for a week. I'm going to call every day and make sure that my paperwork went through before I leave my fucking house again. Man. Damn. So, but that's happened more than once to me back in the day. That happened more than once to me. I get picked up for the same warrant.
That's some serious inefficiency right there.
That's county for you. That's county. They were always that way. Dude, that last time in 2017 when I got arrested over that dog, they were disappearing motherfuckers because they were getting a new phone system put in. They were getting some new fancy technology phone system put in for JPay and all that shit, right? Which is the money you get when you get arrested. People put money on your books. It's JPay, and they were doing some kind of new phone system update. And like this dude sleeping under this bench that I didn't even know he was there for the fucking probably first couple of hours I was there. He wakes up and he goes, "Did they get the phones fixed yet?" No. He goes, "Man, I've been in here since." He got pulled over on his way to work or on his way home from work. Nobody knew. Nobody knew he'd been there for 3 days. Nobody knew that he was there. Nobody, because he couldn't call nobody and tell nobody. Nobody knew he was even there. They were disappearing people. And it's just, they just look at you and they go, it should work. It should work. Well, it don't fucking work. You got to do something here, bud.
Yeah.
So how do I call a lawyer? How do I call, who do I call? How do I contact my people? They're going to call you and report me missing any fucking second.
It's all just to make money, isn't it? Kind of the whole deal. It's just a scam.
County's just bad and they don't give a shit. They don't give a shit about nothing. So it's just the way they are.
Dude, I was listening to...
I mean, I kind of get it. You deal with so many people that are lying fucking shitbags.
Yeah, and then...
That you just get immune to it. And so then the people that you pick up that maybe aren't lying shitbags and might, just be in a bad spot for a second, you just shut them off too, because you know what I mean?
Yeah, because you can't invest the energy on who to really trust, right?
Right,
yeah,
right.
It's like, God damn, it's terrible to be in that situation.
State's attorney walks in to give me my papers because I was on 48-hour felony hold for over an ordinance violation over a dog, and stupidest shit ever. And state's attorney walks in and he looks at me and he goes, "You're Chuck?" And I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "Yeah, I thought so." And he hands me my paperwork, and I take it from him. And he goes, "You got any questions?" And I read it and I go, "So wait, you guys are going through with these charges?" And he goes, "Yeah." He goes, "Don't worry about it. You'll get out tomorrow with court." And I go, "Yeah, but it's still a felony charge over something fucking stupid." And he goes, "It's the way it is, man." And he goes, "I ain't got nothing to do with it." And I go, "I know you're just bringing me paperwork, but still, it's fucking dumb." I go, "That officer over there thinks it's dumb too." When I told him what I did, he thought it was dumb too. So
what happened with that?
I got recog. So, which everybody knew, I knew I was, they didn't even, so when you're there for 48 hours on a felony, normally they put you in back within like 24 hours, like within 12 to 24 hours, they put you in back because you got a felony. Mm-hmm. But my shit was so dumb that they knew I was going to get out. So they just left me in the front, and which sucks even worse because the front is normally packed. So they just left me in the front where you're trying to sleep in the front, and, I got out and it got dropped down and blah, blah, blah. Spent a bunch of fucking money and not a big deal. So.
Dude, I listened to a podcast this morning and it's about Crowley. I do. It was wild as fuck.
Oh, yeah.
Wild as fuck.
The people that were around him, too. You'd be surprised the names he had around him.
Dude,
Jack Parsons, basically the father of rocketry in this country. One of the main guys. Yeah, Jack Parsons. Big names, big government names. Yeah.
Well, like I made it to I didn't get to finish it. He had just gone across the English Channel and met some dude to get his second degree in the order of.
Yeah, whatever.
What's it called? The Yellow Dawn or something.
Yeah, something like that. I don't remember.
It was that, but up to that point, the shit he was doing he's just trying to be like the worst fucking person he could be, and trying to do magic and shit on top of it, which is crazy.
So he I don't know if he was trying to be the worst person he could be. It depends on who you talk to.
He said he was trying to. He said the guy was talking about he was trying to do as much unforgivable sin as possible to summon demons and shit and all this stuff.
I mean, depends on who you talk to. Mm-hmm. Some of the people that tell the story, tell the stories that come from then, and they were just basically a big drug sex ring. So they were just, but he was doing, that's where sex magic comes from. And he was doing that because the theory was at the point of height, at the point of orgasm, there's so much energy released. That's the creation of life because you're releasing all this energy. And if you do the incantations right, when you release all this energy, you can feed off this energy and use it for other purposes. So they were doing rituals based on that. He bought a whole a castle. It's not really a castle, okay. but he bought a whole thing. The last house he lived in, I believe. I think it's across the pond. Okay. Over there, somewhere, way out in the middle of nothing, so he could they say he summoned this demon too. They say he did it. So there's like well-known people have said that it worked, that he did it. So, and that's what the demon's what killed him. That's what they say. So he was a weird dude.
Is it supposed to be the same dude from Supernatural, or is it just a coincidence?
I ain't never watched Supernatural.
Well, Crowley's a character on there, the whole show. But he's a demon.
Well, I'm sure it's.
I don't know if it.
Sure, it's like a fucking hint, a fucking throw to. Yeah. But dude, the names that he had around him, just the government officials and these people in high places, and man, just the names he had around him would really make you fucking think. So.
Yeah, I need to finish that one, but it was interesting so far. I remember you talked about him a year ago probably, but
right.
So I was like, oh shit! I was like, so I listened to it. And it was pretty fucking good show.
That's where LeVay stole 90% of his book from. Crowley's Crowley's writings and ideas, and other places, other sources too. Like I don't remember who originally wrote the 11 rules for the Earth realm. I don't remember who actually wrote those originally, but I think Crowley was one of them. So and LaVey stole them and put them in his book. So I don't think he gave credit when he did it either. So
LaVey's the Church of Satan guy, right?
yeah, LaVey was the founder of Church of Satan. Yeah, psychic. He was so if you ever read LaVey's Satanic Bible, it's not so much of a Bible like you think the Bible is. I have it if you want to read it. It's I don't know how to describe it. It's not really like that. Like a Bible,
like books and chapters.
Yeah, it's not really like a Bible. It's more like a story. Okay. Yeah. So, but it's basically LaVey's just spelling out his ideas. Basically, this is this, this is this, and in it there's a chapter about psychic vampires, and I think he did it on purpose. Maybe it was subconsciously, but he describes everything he does in this chapter about psychic vampires. Everything he does, everything he did, everything. He describes it in this chapter. I think he did it on purpose. I think he did it as kind of like you suckers. You know what I mean? I got you so good, I'm going to tell you. And you're still going to buy in. That's what I think. But who knows?
Have you heard of I had never heard. This is another one I listened to this morning before I listened to that one. It was about a guy named Saint Germain. You ever heard of him? No, he's not an actual saint. It's just like what he said his name was.
I think I've heard the name.
So the guy, the story is that this dude was present at the crucifixion of Jesus, right? He was a Roman soldier,
right?
And along the route, he was did something where he's like, "You can't rest. You got to keep going." And Jesus turned to him and said, "Hey, you know what?" He goes, "You're not going to rest until I return someday." So it was the story that this guy basically got cursed to just keep getting old and dying, and then being reborn at the same age as he was when Jesus said that. So he's living his life over and over again, traveling through Europe and making appearances through the years and all this stuff. It's this really crazy story. So it's pretty neat. And anyways, they ended up at the end of it talking about how he started to get, when people were reported seeing him, it ended up being where the vampire myth came from.
Right.
Because these ladies were getting attacked or trying to get their blood drained and stuff.
I thought I don't remember where it came. I thought it come from. Yeah, no, I thought it come from the evil dude that hung people from pipes.
Well, Vlad the Impaler.
Yeah, Vlad himself. Yeah, that's where I thought it come from. There probably had to be something before that, though.
Yeah,
there probably had to be some sort of oral myth or something before that, and then they just associated it with him, and that's where it gained. I'd imagine that's probably the way that worked too.
That movie freaked me out when we were kids, or creeped me out.
What movie?
The Bram Stoker's Dracula, the one with
Is that the one with the hair? He had that big hair.
Winona Ryder was in it, and then
that's the one where he had the big hair.
Gary Oldman, and he got real old and weird shit, and
The one I find weird is Stephen King, the old one, Salem's Lot. So I've seen it. Sure, I've seen it before, just recently when I seen it. But them kids, they got them scenes where those kids are floating on the window and scratching on the window.
Oh yeah,
dude, that's so fucking. And you can obviously tell that it's fake. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it looks like shit, but it's still creepy as fuck. You're like, God, that's fucking creepy. Scratching on the window. Let me in. Let me in.
Dude, that sounds like
God,
dude, they do that shit on Lost Boys too. When they're at the fucking window.
Yeah.
Fucking creeps.
Yeah.
Shit's wild.
Oh,
these were good.
I didn't mind them. The honey ones. Which one is this one? Is this a honey?
Yeah. So, yeah.
I didn't mind. I didn't smoke any of the other ones, but I didn't mind the honey ones.
It's not sweet.
No, they're not sweet.
It just has a good flavor. But yeah, I don't know. you should text him to see where he's at. Be like, D, we're waiting for you.
Nah, but I did text Moderate and bitch at him. So
Who?
Moderate, the guy that runs the studio.
I'm ready to go. I mean, we can go there and drop some fucking sick beats on him.
Right. No thanks.
No,
no thanks.
Speaking of dropping bars. Sailor, loves Eminem now for whatever reason. It's a thing. All of her friends, they're 4th grade, dude. They love Eminem. Like, she got like a Slim Shady necklace for Christmas and all kinds of other shit. But what was the point of the story? Oh, Melissa got her the best thing. And when she was wrapping it, she didn't take it out of the container. But I was like, "What's it?" I got hand her this thing, and this box was heavy as fuck. It was for Sailor. And what is in this? Because it was small, like that big. She's like, "It's Mom's spaghetti." I was like, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "Eminem." I was like, I go, "Oh yeah." I was like, "Fine," she's like, "No, like he legitimately has a spaghetti sauce company."
Yeah.
Dude, it's so fucking funny. It says Mom's spaghetti on it. It's got a whole thing.
There's better rappers out there. Tell her there's way better rappers out there. I don't give a shit what anybody says. He is not the best rapper. He's not.
Oh, I don't think that. I don't think that he is. I wasn't saying that.
He's not.
I think they just like the songs, like their cat. This first ones that he did, they're poppy and catchy. You know what I mean? The ones the last few years are like actually rap songs. Like he's actually trying to rap fast and do that and this and that. But the earlier ones are just fun. They're not like
It's word salad.
Yeah.
So I can't stand. He's got. I like Rap God, but that's only because it fucking beats on my stereo. So
Yeah.
Other than that, I won't listen to his shit at all. So I get tired of hearing people say he's the GOAT.
Well, I mean,
he's not. He's not.
Who's the GOAT?
I don't know. Cube, KRS-One.
Yeah, I mean,
there's a lot better than him. So it's just because they don't sell the records or have the careers, but you got to think about who he's selling records to. You got to think about who buys. First of all, the people that buy the most rap albums are suburban white kids. They always have been.
Right.
Always have been. So that's who's buying them. So now you've got this white guy. Who's he going to sell to?
Right.
Suburban white kids. So, that's your seller. That's your target audience. They feel like he's them. He's marketing to him, basically, to the target audience. So, but that's who buys. That's who always has bought all the rap albums. That's where everybody got their money made from. It's suburban white kids with their mommy and daddy's money at the mall buying CDs.
My parents would never buy me a rap disc. I had to save up for it myself.
Buying CDs. That's what it was. So we just stole them.
When the Tupac, that double album came out?
Which one was the double album?
That had like Ambitions as a Writer on it and like all that shit. Like but I bought it and I was playing in my room and I had it low, like fucking low though. My dad was like, "I don't want to hear that shit again." I was like, "Okay." And he just did it because he wanted to. I'm sure of what it was. But he came in and snatched those discs and fucking snapped them in half. And I was like, I fucking bought those with my own money. I was so fucking pissed. Money that actually worked for that was upsetting.
Oh
man. So what's the plan the rest of the night after this? Chilling?
Going home. So,
how long do we have to go? Because I could talk forever about nothing. We can fucking talk about anything we want to talk about.
And as far as you want, have you watched, listened to the Hollow Sky podcast yet? Hollow Sky's local.
Okay.
They're in Jerseyville. They got a pretty good podcast. So I've been going to hit them up and ask them if, because it's a paranormal.
Okay.
It's a paranormal podcast. I've been going to hit them up and see if we can do since they're local.
Yeah.
Like one of us goes on there and one of them comes on here. I'd want to wait till, we get an actual studio.
Yeah.
if we're going to get an actual studio. But I've been going to hit them up and ask them, if they want to do like a cross promotion thing. I haven't done it yet though. But they got a good podcast. So lots of paranormal. So they did this thing on the ham radio. So on Reddit, this guy posted this message that he got through his ham. He was playing around with this ham radio, and he got this message through his ham radio, and it's a lady talking, and then she gives coordinates. Well, she gives just a string of numbers, and then of course Reddit figures out that they were coordinates and blah blah blah, and a date and blah blah blah. So so it was supposed to happen on the 23rd. at like 11 o'clock or some shit like that. And I haven't seen anything to see if the dogmen came or not. But that's the last podcast I listened to of theirs was the dogmen. Dogmen, dog aliens, angel dog, whatever the fuck. But they do a pretty good one. They did one on skinwalkers. So that was pretty neat. They got a good podcast. They talk about some pretty interesting shit.
Heck yeah.
I listened to one on the way home from Chicago about there's these women somewhere in Arizona. It's a whole community of women that think they have gave birth to alien hybrids. And they think like their children are on the planet. They were birthing aliens, like the aliens that came and got them and took them to their planet to birth their children and then bring them back.
That seems like a pretty wild fantasy for multiple people to have.
For multiple people to have.
Yeah,
So that was a pretty good one. So because it goes from, well, it's weird. It's just weird to think that somebody would think like that. And then, but they go into like the details of the stories, like they tell their stories and stuff. And it's like, how would you get, it's weird. It's weird. And then now that there's a whole community of them.
Once or twice you can think like, okay, these people are fucking nuts and they're feeding off each other. But when you have, say a community of individuals that are recanting the same experience, that's fucking wild.
What's horrible about me is the scumbag side of me goes, well, if they're that dumb, you know how easy it would be to take advantage of them?
Yeah, I mean, you probably could. You'd be like, hit him up for child support for
right,
your
alien. Right. The scumbag side of me is like, hey, Mom, this is blue block from wherever the hell. Just study the stories, you know what I mean, and go in and make some shit up. We escaped the prison planet, but we need money to survive. We can't tell you where we are, but you can send it here. You know what I mean?
Send it Venmo.
Right.
Like,
you can send us money.
Fuck, that's funny as fuck.
We can't tell you where because we're being hunted. You know what I mean? That's where the scumbag part of my brain does it. Every time I hear about something like that, the scumbag side of my brain goes, man, you could make some money off these people. And who are they going to tell? Because anybody they tell that story to is going to be like, bitch, you're crazy.
Yeah, you're crazy, dumbass. What are you doing?
We're not going to follow up on this. This is just as crazy as the story you told me before this crazy shit.
That's so funny. Yeah, there's so many interesting things to talk about. And I'm sure that they cover great shit. I'm gonna have to check it out, see what they do.
Yeah, they do. They do a good podcast. So,
it'd be like one of those things where like we can do some shit like that, but we need to know what we're doing before we do it. Because there's so many other things we're talking about that when we
skip around too much.
When we break into stuff, it'd be like, hey, we're doing this shit today.
We skip around too much. So it's just. Everybody here's got ADHD.
Yeah, it's the nature of the beast.
So everybody here. So
yeah, it'd be interesting. And I wrote like 30 people today to come on, and then I always forget that like not everybody can just get away.
Right.
And that's
right.
To get so.
Sometimes it's weird having a guest on too because it's like what do you talk about? So.
Yeah, So usually,
because you don't want to offend the person. You know what I mean?
When Mike was on, like he liked cars and does all that shit, so I knew like he would be cool with you guys,
But how do you talk like religious shit
with people you don't know?
When you got a guy next to you who might be a devout, you know what I mean?
Well, that adds drama to it, though. That's a good.
Yeah, but you don't want to piss them off. So I'm the kind of guy that'll piss you off.
Oh, I know, but I mean, but I'm not in a bad way. But that's what I told somebody earlier. I go, you might not like Chuck. It was somebody who I was talking to. Like, you might not like Chuck, not because he's not a good person, but because he's going to tell you what you don't want to hear.
It's opposition.
Well, you tell the truth. So and that's a lot of times it's not what people want to hear, and so that can result in being offended when they shouldn't be. They should be open to the.
Who was here? It was what was his name? Joe was here, and I was telling the problem that people have, and this is true, and I'm not making this up. The problem people have with me is that it sounds asinine for me to say it. It sounds cocky and egotistical for me to say it, and most of the time, people who don't say it, and the people who do say it aren't. Mm-hmm. And I'm fucking really, really goddamn smart.
I know you are. Yeah, yeah.
And I like to be right. And so, like the ego side of me is like, okay, I think you're wrong, but before I tell you you're wrong, I'm gonna do all the research up to a point, because there's a certain point I get bored and I quit. So, but I'm gonna do all this research, and so I can tell you you're wrong, and then prove. And people don't like that. People hate that, and people see, because of where I'm at in life and my station in life, they don't think I should be smarter than they are. They don't think that I should be intelligent. I had somebody tell me one time, well, you're not a doctor. How do you know? How does a doctor become a doctor?
Study.
Well, he goes to school. Right. Well, what do they have at school? Well, books. So what's he do? He reads books. So I can't read the same fucking book?
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah, no, yeah, you're right.
I can't read the same fucking book? I mean, I'm not a doctor. I don't have all the knowledge a doctor has. But if I'm going to go in on a subject, better believe I fucking read my shit. I don't want to look like an idiot, so I read my shit. Sometimes you still look like an idiot, because maybe I didn't read the right shit. There's so much shit out there.
I mean, there's a lot of shit.
So you got to decipher. So you got to make your way through it and then pick what you're going to go with from there.
Yeah, you got to make sure the information that's out there isn't being biased by a paid interest. Do you know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
So you mean
exactly.
So you got to be able to decipher.
Fucking pill pushers.
You got to decipher the bullshit out of the bullshit.
Fucking pill pushers.
Yep.
And I gotta tell you one thing too, man. Fucking Google is the worst place to go.
Yeah, I don't.
When you have anxiety. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's just not. You can look stuff up on Google, but you have to go 3 or 4 pages.
Yeah,
deep.
that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah.
So if you read what you find on the first, like you can find good shit on the first page if you know what you're looking for and how to search for it. Like I NC the BioRiv the preprint site. If you know what you're looking for to go to the BioRiv, you know what I mean, to read the preprint sites, that's good information. That's good. It's preprint, so it's before people have read it and gone through it and studied it and stuff. But there's a good chance that that's accurate. Mm-hmm. Because that's scientists doing what scientists do, and they want it peer reviewed, so they put it out there, and you can go read it, and chances are it's good shit. You know what I mean? You got a very high. It's better than Wikipedia.
Yeah,
it's right. So better than a YouTube pundit. So better than some guy on YouTube telling you some bullshit like I am right now. But I don't know. So you can find shit on Google. You can do all right. I use Google for that. But if you're having like anxiety, like I got health anxiety, and my health anxiety's fucking through the roof, dude. It's bad right now. But because I Googled something and I shouldn't have. I should have left it the fuck alone and went to bed. But I didn't. I let it take over, and I let it fucking grab my phone and do what it was going to do, and now I'm fucking set on this course until it runs its course. So it is what it is. So that's why when I hit you up Wednesday, I was like, dude, I need it, but
yeah, I was like,
I mean, I got some at home, but I'm like fucking shaking the bottle with the dropper in it, trying, because I quit taking it. Mm-hmm. I quit taking it in November. I quit taking it because I was like, I'm doing good. Mm-hmm. I'm going to wean off of it. You know what I mean? And if I could take it, I took it every other day for about a week, and then I just quit. Mm-hmm. I just quit taking it because why spend the money if I'm not having an issue? Yeah, I was in a good place.
Yeah.
So and that was it. I was out. Is what it was. I was running out. So I was like, okay, I'm not buy no more. And then I had this issue, and I was like, oh, I got to get that back in me.
It really does help. Like it.
I wonder why it helps. So it's CBD oil, for anybody that don't know. But I wonder. I've not looked at it because I'm in such a weird place right now. Anyway, I'm trying to stay away from that kind of thing. Like I set boundaries for myself. Like don't look that shit up until you're past. Till you're past it. And when you're past it, you can go back through. You can look all this shit up.
Yeah.
You can educate yourself now. Yeah. Because right now, if I go to educate myself, I'm just gonna fucking fuck myself up again. So. But I've been meaning to look it up, and I wonder how it works. I wonder what the mechanism is. It works. It definitely works.
So there's a simple explanation. It's not like the in depth, like exactly, but it gives an example. Like explains kind of how it works. So just know that there's all kinds of different receptors for the different CBD molecules, and then also the terpenes, which are often like filtered out of the distillates. The terpenes are like carrier compounds that add effect. So if you looked up terpenes, there'd be 50 terpenes that are in CBD or in weed, right?
Right.
And they all can do a certain thing. They all have a certain that affects your body in a certain way. So if you look at your body as being in balance, right? If it's in balance, then there's, let's say it was your nervous system or your brain for anxiety, right? So you start to feel a certain way because of a certain situation, an imbalance occurs, kind of propagates it happening, whether it's neurochemical, whatever it is, right? So, but there's receptors all over your body that accept the CBD. And sometimes your body naturally produces it, but sometimes it can't meet the demand to fill the receptors.
Right.
So there's receptors empty for a reason, whether it's stress or you were in pain or inflammation, and so that you exogenously take it, your body still produces it naturally, but then it goes to those receptors and accepts those sites, and it brings you into balance. So instead of saying it cures something or it makes it go away, it's like there's an absence of it because everything's in balance, right? So it's like
right.
when I tell you, I'm like, I go, you're not taking it for pain. It's not a painkiller.
Right.
It's going to balance you so that the inflammation is down enough that it's not irritating you or it's doing these things, right? So it balances it all. So that's kind of what it's like I'd say nature's balancer kind of.
Right.
I mean, that's without doing chemical.
Right, without going in depth.
Yeah, which you'll dive into that. You'll get it, but that's kind of what it is. So,
right.
So
it works because I didn't sleep, and then I do this thing. So this week, it's a stomach issue. I'm having some issues with my stomach and it's all anxiety. It's all caused by anxiety, but because of what I think is going on, and then my anxiety kicks over, and it makes. Because anxiety will make you physically ill.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, well, bad. So I do this thing, and I know I do it. I know, right? In my head, I know. I stress when I get stressed out real bad. Oh, I have the worst bowel movements. Mucusy, nasty, stinks. Oh, it's just terrible. Just constant, almost constant. Just everything's just falling out. I lose my appetite. I don't eat right. And then I like the first night that I did this, I didn't sleep 24, and then I didn't eat for another 24 hours. So that'll screw you up for a week right there. That right there will just, because if you don't eat for 24 hours, the next time you eat, you're not really. Yeah. Plus your appetite's not back yet. You're just eating because you're a little bit hungry and you know you need to eat. So you're eating. You're not eating a big portion. And so then the next time you can't eat a big portion because you ain't eating big portions. Mm-hmm. So when you go from eating like I normally do to that makes the anxiety go some more. You know what I mean? And it's just a one big vicious cycle. And you know what's going on, but you can't stop it from. You have to let it run. You have to let it run. So with health anxiety, you usually got like it. You got like incubation periods for when you get sick. And so you have to. So basically, the health anxiety, I'll have it. It's not so bad now, but Thursday when I was down there, it was out the roof. So it's not so bad now. Like I said, that CBD oil took it down quite a bit, and but I have to let it. Let the supposed illness run past its time.
Right.
For it to do what it's supposed to be doing. I have to wait for that to run out before I can actually go back to being straight in the head again. So it's terrible, man, because I know it's not true, but you can't stop it. You can't. It won't go away. It just doesn't go away. So it's dumb.
Just lingers.
Makes you feel dumb.
No, it doesn't make you feel dumb.
It makes you feel dumb. Because it's like, this is absolutely the most ridiculous shit, and you know better,
but there's
and here it is.
Because it's not dumb for you because you know that it might be illogical, but some people don't accept the fact that it is illogical.
Absolutely illogical.
Right? But some people don't accept that fact. But you know it, and so it's not stupid for you because you know that.
Well, here's the thing. It's all worst case scenario.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah,
It's not, you're, okay, you ate something screwed up, you're going to get a little sick. No, that's not it. That's not what the anxiety does. The anxiety does, you ate something wrong, you're going to fucking die. This is the countdown to your death. And so now you have to wait until
that time clock
goes before you can go, see, you're fucking dumb. You know what I mean? And you would think that after that happens so many times, I'll give you a good example. I burnt my arm Did you ever see my arm? So I had a radiator hose blow off and just absolutely flash boiled my arm. Just flash boiled my arm. So I don't like shots, so I didn't get the tetanus shot. I go to the hospital, and I wouldn't even have went if I had known that I could pour cold water on the fucking thing. I was always told you couldn't do that with burns.
Yeah,
at least somebody. I thought somebody told me sometime you couldn't. Not to pour.
Yeah.
Well, you can. You can pour cold water on burns. The only reason I went is because it burnt. It kept burning. Like an hour later, my arm was still on fire. And so that's the only reason I went to the ER. Oh, yeah, dude. Oh, nasty blisters. That's the only reason I went to the ER. So if I could have poured cold water on it and stopped it from feeling like that, I would have never went to the ER any fucking way. I would have just dealt with these big, yellow, nasty, fucking pus-filled, gross-ass blisters. And but they wanted to give me a tetanus shot. And I'm like, why the fuck do I need a tetanus shot? Everything here is sterile. Obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's sterile. Nothing lives in boiling water.
Yeah, nothing's open. If the wound's closed, you're safe.
Right. So why do I need a tetanus shot? Plus, I just got one like 10 years ago. And but this is a good example of that. So I didn't take the tetanus shot. But they mentioned the tetanus shot. So I go home, and instantly, you're going to get fucking tetanus. Instantly, dude. My brain goes, you're going to get fucking tetanus, dude. You're going to get tetanus. You're going to get lockjaw and fucking die. Tetanus kills you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're going to get lockjaw and die. You're done. This is it. You got this many days before it kicks in, and then maybe you live, maybe you don't. You probably don't. Right? So that's where my brain goes. Instantly. That's not to, and then it doesn't, listen, so, and then I have this other problem where I've got all the information in the world in the palm of my fucking hand.
Yeah.
And so I pick the phone up and I start Googling tetanus. Which don't ever, if you got health anxiety, never, ever, 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 under no circumstances, Google your fucking symptoms. Mm-hmm. So, because you're just going to have cancer. That's what Google tells you every fucking time. WebMD tells you every time it's cancer, you're dead. But like this tetanus. So I actually read this article, right, about tetanus that says that if you got all your immunizations when you were a child, you're good for life. You don't even need it. Like they give it like over in Europe,
10 years or something.
In Europe, they give it to you you get all your immunizations when you're a kid, and then you get one again when you're 65, and that's only if your immune system is declining. If your immune system isn't declining at 65, they assume it is, so they just give it to you because it's safe, right? But if it isn't, you still don't even need it then, right? So that's in Europe. In Europe, you're good for life. You were vaccinated for tetanus as a child, and you got them all. You're good for life in Europe. They've got studies that show it in every fucking thing.
You don't need all these boosts and all that bullshit.
Nope. Big, massive studies that prove it. So I read this article, right? And then I go and I read these fucking studies because this article's got all the links to the studies. So now this is, I know this. This is true. This is fact. I know this. This is how it works. No, sir. My brain goes, nah, not you, buddy. Not you. Worst case scenario, constantly. It's fucking terrible.
I mean, if you're prepared for the worst, though, then nothing can hurt you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's just it. It's not the worst. It's not. What are the odds? I probably have a better chance of getting hit by a car than getting tetanus. Mm-hmm. So tetanus isn't as prevalent as you know what I mean.
In my head, I see in my head as I'm stepping on a rusty nail. You know, that's what I'm thinking.
But so rusty nails don't even have tetanus in them. You have more of a chance, like if you cut your hand and you rub dirt in it, like we did when we were kids. Yeah. If you cut your hand, you've got more of a chance of getting tetanus from that than you do a rusty nail or a rusty piece of metal, because it lives in the dirt, it lives in the soil. So chances are, like if you got all your immunizations, because immunizations don't stop you from contracting it, they just make your body ready for it, right?
Yeah, the response. Yeah.
So chances are, as Generation X, as the kids who rubbed dirt in it, chances are we had our immunizations, but we still fucking had that shit. You know what I mean? We rubbed dirt in it. We rubbed that shit in there any fucking way. So chances are we were exposed to it at some point any fucking way.
Yeah, and you know what changed? We had, let's say we had 10 vaccinations.
Right.
Dude, I'm scaling it to what it is now. They have, I think it's pushing like 250 or 300 shots by the time. Yes, they're 13 and shit.
What?
Dude, Think there's a problem?
What you had TB shots.
Yeah.
Which was your tetanus and everything. Tetanus, and it was like 1 or 2 or 3 of them in the same shot.
No, we had MMR, which is measles, mumps, and rubella.
Right.
Which is one of the bad ones to get nowadays for whatever.
Why is it bad?
Just, I guess, the ingredients in it and the response. I mean, whatever. But like, to me, I don't think. Here, I'm not an anti-vaxxer. You can do what you want to, but at the same time, like, I think that the schedule of them is what causes a problem, because there are adjuncts in them, what they called, that do cause neurologic problems in the body. And say it's 10x of what we got,
right?
And there's a 10x change in people on the spectrum of things. Like, I'm saying that's not causation, but there's definitely a correlation.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna argue all that shit, but it just seems like excessive. So like for Sailor, she's had like one of her vaccines that I just had to do because I had no choice, and it was like,
you didn't give her the measles, mumps, and but that shit's dangerous. Like, as she gets older, that shit's dangerous as you get older.
I know.
Smallpox, that shit's dangerous as you get chickenpox. Yeah, it's dangerous.
Yeah,
as you get older.
smallpox is running around. Yeah, would I gave her that? But I had measles, I had mumps, and I had chickenpox, and you know what I mean. So I think it does something for your body that helps, and so. If she was to have those things, I get it. But like now, as she gets older, and she can research it herself, I feel like she should be able to make that choice. Because,
it's different now, though. It's different when you get it when you're older. I think because you don't have the same, because your immune system starts declining.
Right.
Like your immune system's constantly declining, and so even if you've got a healthy immune system, it's never what it was when you were a child.
No.
So like when you get those shots, like at 4 or 5 or some shit like that, something like that. I don't know when you get them, but when you get those shots, your immune system is more capable of creating those lifelong immunities than it is now.
Yeah. So when we went, like, we got them, and like, I don't know if your parents did, but mine didn't. But like, you were supposed to go back for boosters all the time and all these other shits.
I got them all.
Did you?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, because see, I got the first ones, but I never got the...
Yeah, I got all my tetanus shots. I probably got more than my fair share of tetanus shots because I lived in... My dad always had wood with nails sticking out of it. And I was always cutting my fingers and always doing this. And always... I had so many stitches in my hands by the time I was 10.
So you know, like based on those, like the courts they have set up for, you know, vaccine injuries and all that stuff, you know, but so, you know, they get paid out billions and billions of dollars a year to people who've had terrible reactions, right? And it's done as class action based on the number of people. So what I'm saying is that if there was, let's say she went and got MMR shot, let's say based on the statistics there's a 1 in 10,000 or 1 in 15,000 chance she could have some strange reaction that could kill her or give her neurological deficiency.
It's probably higher than that, but right.
I'm just saying.
Right.
But still, you hand somebody a gun, even if I handed you a gun and said there was a 1 in 15,000 chance that you're going to get killed if you pull the trigger, you're not going to pull it. So so I'm saying is that for your child, like, if you could negatively impact their whole life, or they could get sick for 2 weeks. Do you know what I mean? But here's the thing. If somebody got measles or the mumps and you took them to the hospital, our technology is good enough now that they're not going to die from it. If you couldn't go,
maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I'm saying if you were unable, but nobody should not go. But if you couldn't, I can see maybe you might have, because people did have mortality from that in the past, right?
Right.
But I feel like now, like, it could be okay. So they get sick, and now they come out in the back end, and their immune system's better from having had it. Better than you could artificially induce immunity. So,
well, yeah, I mean, it's you're always better.
Yeah.
But the chances, but here's the thing, is like I was saying a while ago, even if you get the shot, you could still be exposed, and now you're even better. Then not only did you not get the illness, but now you've got even more, because now you've had the prepared, and you've had now you've had the fake thing and the real thing.
Right.
You're even better off.
What about all those people who got, like, COVID after getting vaccinated, though?
Well, it doesn't prevent it.
Right, but they seem to fare less well on the second round.
I don't know about that. I just don't know about that. I
think, well, I was on, like, the vascular stuff. Like, it seemed like, you know.
So we've talked about this before.
But the things still have changed, though.
So I'm not for either. You do what, like you said, do whatever you want. Here's what I'm for: make an educated decision.
Yeah, 100%.
Don't do your research. And when I know that's a big joke now, saying do your research, but you can do your fucking research. And you can, like all this shit they say.
But you have to, these people who do that, you have to ignore their own bias, though. You know what I mean?
They've been giving, right, and most people are incapable of that.
You have to ignore your own bias.
They've been giving this mRNA vaccine to the worst kind of cancer patients for years. And the cancer's still killing them, but the vaccine isn't. Mm-hmm. And so that's got to tell you something right there about its safety. Mm-hmm. That has to tell you something. These people are sick. Bone cancer is what they give it to them in. Bone cancer. And it helps. These people are the sickest people on the planet. And they're not dying from this thing. So why are you going to die from it? Because it's just the technology. Now, the way they did it, first of all, I got one shot. And I didn't like what it did to me. And I didn't go back and get the second shot. I had a reaction, and is it the normal reaction? My heart rate was up to about 110 for 2 days straight, and I didn't like that.
No.
It's fucking weird. But guess what? When you get sick, your heart rate goes up. When your body's fighting something, your heart rate goes up. So is that like a normal thing? That well, I had COVID. When I got COVID, my heart rate was up for a while. You know, when I took the ibuprofen, I started to get better, and it went down. Anytime you're sick, your heart rate goes up because you're fighting an infection. Your body's working.
Yep.
So was that like a normal thing? Like it was.
Response?
Yeah, like it's a normal body's response. But then you go back and you just had this reaction and you just had this right, and then you go back and you get another one. That's not how our immune systems work to begin with. So that I don't think I would have done that any fucking way. Because I don't agree with it. I think all these boosters is just money grabbing.
So
But here's what I was saying though. The guy that gave me the shot, he wasn't a nurse.
No.
He wasn't a pharmacist.
It wasn't a pharmacist?
No, it's just some dude. They trained him how to give the shot. Do we need help? We got to give all these shots. Come in. There was a nurse there, but she didn't give me the shot. There was just some dude. Right? Right. Rubber gloves on, gave me the shot. Here you go, buddy. Opened it up in front of me, showed me every fucking thing, like they're supposed to do. In you. So that leaves. So how many times did that happen across all the vaccinations? Right.
Right.
So that leaves, like you said, what if you hit a vein?
Yep.
That could fuck you up.
Mm-hmm.
What if it didn't get in the right spot? That could fuck you up.
Yep.
What if, you know what I mean? That adds a bunch. Now there's a bunch of what ifs. There's a bunch of variables to add to it, so where it wasn't actually the vaccine itself, but
the administration.
The administration, all the variables. So now you've got all that you got to factor all that in, and then you got to factor in the allergic because you can be allergic to any fucking thing. Yep. At any point, I could be allergic to what's on that Christmas tree. You never fucking know. Right.
All the time.
Right. So then you got all those. You have to add all those. You know what I mean? And then you have the VAERS system, which people were massively over abusing. They were massively abusing it to prove a point that wasn't actually there. If I went in and I got a vaccine and then I got diarrhea that night because I ate too much ice cream or something because I'm lactose intolerant, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they ask you, so if you go to the ER, they ask you, well, they ask you, right? Did you have vaccine, blah, 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 blah. And you tell them yes, they have to write that down.
Yeah, so
they have to put that into that VAERS system. They have to.
Weren't they getting paid more for the, vaccine treatments, stuff like a death and all that shit?
No, I don't. No. They were getting paid. If you died with COVID, they were getting.
The hospital paid more.
The hospital got paid more, and your funeral got paid for. So there's a lot of people out there where they were like, well, we're going to say you had COVID, so that they'll pay for it. There's a lot of people out there like that. So I know somebody who's had somebody die, and it wasn't from COVID, but they listed it as COVID related.
Yeah, we were talking about you get hit by a car and it was a COVID death. And all that shit.
But they listed this guy was he got sick and they listed it as COVID related, because the family got a bunch of relief for it from the funeral costs and stuff like that. A bunch of relief.
Do you think we're gonna have another thing like that come through?
Nope. I don't think it'll work again. I don't think anybody will give a fuck.
So then, what's the NWO's next move then? Because they've tried that didn't work.
Well,
it worked in some places.
Well, I don't think anybody's going to give a fuck. this round. I don't think anybody cares because they fucked it up. Listen, they fucked it up with the vaccine.
Yeah.
Get a free hamburger with a vaccine. Get a free this. Dude, they were setting that shit up for opposition. There's no way they didn't know. Listen, the CIA has been doing psychological studies on the United States population since the fucking 50s or 60s or whenever the fuck. They knew damn good and well when they started giving away cheeseburgers to get the $100 to get the vaccine. This, this, do this, or mandatory and vaccine cards. They knew damn well they were creating a massive amount of opposition. Damn well. They knew it.
Oh, yeah.
They fucking knew it. There's no way they didn't know. No way. They planned that shit.
Do you remember how it was so weird? It was like, it started and nobody knew what the fuck's on. And like at the beginning, I was actually scared. You know what
Listen,
I mean? I was very scared. And
I locked myself in my house for 3 months.
Yeah,
Ask Mike. Mike will tell you. I lost my fucking mind.
I still went to work, but I was scared as fuck, honestly. And then they were like, "Oh, Operation Warp Speed's coming with the vaccine." Remember that? And then because Trump did it, it wasn't. He was in it. It wasn't good.
Right. Yeah. Well, I locked myself in my house for 3 months. Mike will tell you, I was off the fucking deep, dude. I was the guy that cleaned his groceries before bringing them in the house.
Oh, yeah. No,
I had them delivered. I cleaned them before they came in my fucking house. If I didn't have anything to clean them, they set out in the fucking sun, like dry cereal and shit like that. I left out in the sunlight because sunlight kills bacteria and shit. And, the UV lights, and I knew that. So I was that guy. I washed my hands. Dude, I stayed in my fucking house. I didn't go nowhere. And I still washed my fucking hands 30 times a day and scalding so bad my fucking hands started to crack from being dry, from being washed too fucking much. Yeah, dude, I was fucking gone. Lysol spray in every fucking doorknob after every fucking 2 hours. Dude, on my mind, I was gone. I lost my fucking mind. I went crazy.
Yeah, but you have the right to, because I mean,
I'm fucking crazy. But I don't.
That was the plan. Like, that was the plan, right? Like that.
I don't disagree with the lockdowns. I don't.
No, I think at first it was good.
I don't.
Now,
I think once they figured it out.
But,
I think once they figured it out, I think some places just went on with that shit just to see what they could get away with and what they could, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I think, like California, just wanted to push the envelope a little bit. Once they had it figured out, come on, man. Come on. Now you're just lying. Now you're lying to push whatever the fuck you're pushing. Mm-hmm. I don't think that a lot of people think that they released it so that they could control the election year. I don't think that's true, but I think that once it happened, they used it. Yeah. They damn sure took advantage of it. But they fucked up all on their own with me. They put out too much nonsense, too much bullshit, that it didn't take long for my logical brain to go, wait the fuck a minute.
What's happening here? Yeah,
right. Well, it's on the AC controls in your car. Okay, fair enough. But if it's on the AC controls in my car, then I've already been exposed, obviously. Yeah. So why the fuck do I care that it's on the AC controls in my car? How did it get there if I wasn't already exposed to it and didn't already have it? How did it get there? It couldn't have got there. unless someone I was already directly exposed. So my brain, I read that article and my brain went, oh, you motherfuckers. And I felt dumb for quite a while. I felt dumb. You motherfuckers, you got me. You fucking got me.
I think things change, though. I mean, obviously, if that's in your head before that, I get it. But when you have people that you care about around you, too, on top of it, you know what I mean? It changes things, too, as, like, being responsible for things sometimes. Like, you... Right. Because I would, like, if it was just me, honestly, and that shit was going on at the time, I don't fucking care. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to go to work and I'm going to do this. But I went through 100 extra steps every day. Right. To go to work and kind of like take off my clothes in the garage and do all this shit, right? Right. But I was all day. I was scared. I was like, until they were like, it's cool, and we kind of figured it out, you know.
Well. So that's the other thing about me is I watched in real time every time they announced a new variant. Mm-hmm. I would go to the preprint and I would go read it and I learned all this stuff. I learned a lot about viruses and what viruses do and why they do what they do and how they do what they not really how they do what they do, but why they do, you know, how they work and what the end goal is for a virus. The end goal for a virus is spread and survive, right? Same as us. Yeah. It's the end goal. Yeah. So how does it do that? It attenuates so that the immune system doesn't notice it no more. It doesn't want to cause damage. It just wants to spread. That's all it wants to do.
Its machinery into the cells.
That's all it wants to do. So if it can do that without making it, without alerting, because the immune system is what makes you sick. If it can do that without, it can only get by with it for so fucking long. The sicker it makes you, and it knows that inside somehow the virus knows that once it gets in your body, it can only get away with destroying these cells for so long before the body's going to eradicate it. It knows that. So it needs to get in there, reproduce enough that it can get back out, that it can safely get back out. And it can't safely get back out if you're sick as fuck at home.
Yeah.
And it knows this. So it makes changes the entire time. The entire time it's adapting to you, trying to make changes so it can escape before it gets caught. So because either it's going to kill these cells for so long that the host is going to die and then it's dead, or the immune system's going to find it and then it's dead. So and I watched it in real time. I would go look them up and I would go look and see, all right, well where's its what's the genome of this one? So what's the genome of this new one? And you watch it in real time. It's got this many lines in the ORF8 region. It's got this many lines. Well, this new variant only has this many lines. So now it's deleting stuff, right? It's deleting stuff from it. It's adapting. It's deleting stuff. And what they focus on the whole time? The fucking thing that makes it connect to the cells. That's not, because that was the scary part.
Dude. Viruses and bacteria are so smart. I remember in college we would do stuff, and this is like, it's not something new, it's old, but we would do these experiments to see how things transferred, right?
Right.
So we'd have, like, say we take some staph, right? We'd take some staph and we'd grow it on a...
That's a scary one, staph.
Yeah.
Staph can kill you no matter. Yeah. Staph can kill you overnight, pretty much. Staph's bad.
We would mess with, like, staph and strep, and we would grow it on the Petri dishes, right? In the medium. And then we would... say it was normal staph, right? And we would add penicillin to it.
Right.
And then it would kill half of that because half of the staph in there were immune to the penicillin.
Right.
Okay. So then what we would do is then we would culture the ones that had the immunity, right?
Right.
Say the staph cells. And we put them in a culture with ones that didn't have the immunity. And then we would let them be together and grow. And then you'd treat the whole thing with penicillin again to see, you think half of them are going to die again. All of them live because because when the non-immune and the immune touch, they transfer like a fucking internet, little code of DNA over and saves their fucking buddy's life. And that is nuts.
Yep.
They
learn.
It's crazy.
Learning.
Yeah.
It's learning.
It's crazy.
There's like an intelligence there almost. But they know. So you probably got a virus in you right now. That learned to cohabitate with your body. Yeah. Like there's a form of hepatitis that they say that a lot of people have. You never even know you got it. But it's so comfortable inside your body that it'll actually go, no, you're going to fuck this up for me, and it'll kill viruses. It'll help. It'll help the body kill viruses because it doesn't want that virus to fuck it up doesn't want to fuck its thing up.
It's like Liam Neeson.
Yeah, there's a form of I think it's hepatitis. There's a form of hepatitis that actually kind of helps.
I wonder what that is. I need to look that up.
It's weird. It's fascinating. Mm-hmm. Like I tell everybody all the time, dude, if this had happened when I was 18 and I didn't die because of course you're 18, you're stupid, and you're just going to be out there doing whatever the fuck. If this had happened when I was 18 and I survived, I probably would have been a virologist because it's really, really neat. It's cool. It's what they do is really neat. So, but I was watching them. The ORF8 was one of the regions. It's the one that I remember right off the top of my head that was responsible for attenuation. And it was just deleting shit left and right. There was a stop codon here, a stop codon there. And then you watch the numbers and you can see the numbers go down coinciding with it. And you can see, and it's like it's attenuating, which is what it's supposed to do. That's what they do.
It's amazing. I think it's fucking crazy.
So, I tell people all the time, I was like, I don't know. I think it's, and that's the other thing about the vaccine is they had it shelved from the first time this went through, 2008. We had a SARS-CoV-1, 2008, and it killed like 80% of people. But because it did such a bad job of course, these people were all over in Africa and, poor places.
Was that the avian flu one? Or was that
no, it's SARS-CoV-1.
Okay.
And because it was in 2008, but because it killed people so good, didn't get a chance. It somewhat fizzled out, I guess. They say it fizzled out. Well, did it fizzle out or did it attenuate and become SARS-CoV-2
and just live
and just slow right? Took it a little bit longer to get back to where, you know what I mean, to get back to where it was, and then there's a problem.
I can say I think the biggest impact, besides, I mean, just the mental anguish and anxiety and stress that it caused, is the progression of knowledge of people Sailor's age. She's in 4th grade now. So she was in 1st and kindergarten when that happened, right?
Right.
Now, I want to show you something. It's not... No way I'll know what it is, but I want you to read it. This is somebody that's in her class. She's in 4th grade.
Okay.
This is what she wrote. That's what they're working with.
I can't hear it. I can't
read. So not everybody, but I'd say 50 or 60% of the kids that I meet, that is what their level is at 4th grade, which is not okay.
What are you pointing out here? I mean,
how she spelled that stuff. I think there's a huge negative impact on the kids.
Well, it made a big impact on people, man. Fuck, dude, there's still people out there wearing plastic suits and shit.
Did you start your car or something?
I don't think so. I might have.
Did you hear that beep out there? No, that wasn't
yours.
Mine. No, something
yeah, I don't know.
No, whatever.
But I mean, the people, dude. I don't know how. I don't know why there hasn't been a massive lawsuit against the media, because the media did it, and they did it on fucking purpose.
Well, yeah. Well, just like that.
No, they did it on fucking purpose,
bro,
dude.
Like
they staged trailers.
Yeah.
Well, they staged fucking tents. Yeah, they staged tents. They staged all this shit. They flat out fucking lied. The ERs are 90% full. Yeah, but only there's like 11 people in the ICU, and 2 of them are COVID, and the rest of them are car accident victims or something like that. You know what I mean?
And they made that big fucking deal about incubating people and intubating people.
Right.
And that killed people faster than...
Yeah. It's like, intubation's not good.
We only have so many of these, things, and we got to build so many so fast. We got to do it. And then, it's worse. Makes it worse. It's
the intubation's not good. No. It's not good. So, and then what they say, they came out with something that said that the CPAP machine or something like that for sleeping, that actually helps. And it's not as invasive.
Yeah.
So it doesn't fucking...
It creates that vacuum and it opens you up. Yeah.
It doesn't kill people.
Yeah.
So they flat out fucking lied. They just lied. They told so many lies on top of lies on top of lies, and destroyed so many. And I don't see why or how somebody hasn't. Why have they not been sued?
Right, but here's the thing:
out of business.
So that one video, I think I've sent it to you before. You've seen it, and it's like 30 or 40 news stations all saying the exact same thing at the same time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So who's the person making them say that stuff? So the media had to be told by somebody, the masters, that this is the narrative you're going to push, and here's how you're going to push it.
I don't know. I tell people this all the time too. This will probably get us flagged. Definitely get me put on a list. If you want to change the way the government, you think we need a revolution, but you're not ready, because where are you going to go? You're going to go to Washington?
Nope.
That ain't where you need to start. You need to go to New York, Los Angeles, these big heads of fucking media. That's where you have to start. You want to chop heads, that's where you're going to have to start chopping heads, because that's the head of the snake. They get away with nothing. If the media is not there to cover up their bullshit, they get away with fucking nothing.
Did you... I think we may have spoke about it, I'm not sure. Did you remember seeing... It was like probably a month ago now, that some Chinese, the president of China, or whatever he is, came to...
Oh, yeah. And they cleaned up all the streets.
They cleaned up all the fucking homeless people. Were gone in like 72 hours.
Yep, they moved them, cleaned it all up. Yep.
That's amazing how that happens.
It's dumb.
It's fucking ridiculous.
It's dumb. But I don't know how.
Did they Clinton them, or did they like take them?
No, I think they moved them.
Yeah.
They moved them to some other. They got in a big bus and played fucking
Kumbaya.
Santa Monica. Santa Monica is good to the homeless. Yeah. Have you ever seen that South Park episode where they move all the homeless people? Change. They do like a Day of the Dead thing.
Yeah.
But instead of zombies, it's homeless people. Change. and so Kyle's dad, Gerald. Yeah, that's his name. Gerald gives one of them like he gets cornered, so he gives them change, and now he ain't got no change. So now he needs change to do, you know what I mean? So now he starts asking for, so now he's asking for change. Oh shit, they got Gerald. And then they were on the roof of a mall or whatever. Randy and all that, Stan's Randy, and they were on the roof of the mall, and somebody calls and goes, oh, well, the housing market crashed because of all the homeless people, and our house value went down, and we owe too much, and now they're foreclosing, and so this guy's going through all this, right, and they look at him and go, now you're homeless. And so he goes through this whole thing, like in Day of the Dead, where they're waiting for, when they're in the mall, and they're waiting for that guy to change, right? They go through this whole thing, and then he's like, if you guys just loan me a little bit of money, I can stop this from right. Change. Just how about some change? And then they shoot him because he turned into one. It's fucking, dude, that's one of the good episodes. That's one of the best ones.
That's just funny.
It's one of the best episodes. Fucking love South Park.
Oh, man.
Fucking love South Park.
I can't believe it's still on TV. That's amazing.
Oh, fuck. They had a whole season where they tried to get canceled. They were just trying to. They had a hashtag cancel South Park, and they were trying their hardest to get canceled. Because they were just fucking. I think they were just both done. But no, you can't cancel people that don't give a shit. So, like, they tried to cancel Dave Chappelle. You can't cancel Dave Chappelle. He doesn't care. They tried to cancel. Well, the latest one was that Matt Rife dude, which I don't even think he's that funny, but he's got some funny shit, but.
He's just handsome.
His fame, he ain't even that good looking.
I'm saying he's handsome, and they try, and then they kind of add to it.
His fame is more than what he deserves. Like, his material is not up to par with the fame that he has.
Isn't it like?
But they tried to cancel him, and he just doubled down. He was like, "Fuck you guys."
So I haven't actually watched
good for him
comedy, but somebody said he does good like crowd work or something.
Oh, he's a crowd work guy. Yeah, he's a crowd work guy. He's funny. I mean, I'm not saying he's not funny, but he's got more fame than his talent. So he's really, really famous out of nowhere because if it was back in the day and he had to work his way through the clubs, he wouldn't be this famous yet. Right. So it took him a lot longer.
Yeah, I mean, do you remember that? I was like, I never heard of the dude. Then all of a sudden, for like a month on Facebook, that's all I saw was this shit. Like,
and his tickets are selling for fucking hundreds of dollars a seat, and shit like that. Yeah, it's crazy. It's fucking crazy. Crazy. Like that Oliver Anthony guy with that song.
Oh,
that viral song.
Yeah, that something, whatever.
Yeah,
the rich men and whatever.
And now he has millions of dollars and he's doing nothing.
I thought he was like, people were still loving him. They were like, oh, he's giving away seats for shows and stuff, and telling people not to pay.
I bet he is.
Yeah.
I bet he is.
Yeah.
So, I bet he is. Well, you got to have some sort of that image, but what else is he doing? He's got all this fame, he's got this big soapbox that he can do all these things with. And what's he doing? Just writing, just putting out more music.
I haven't heard anything since then.
Right. He's not. What are you changing? What are you changing? You're not changing nothing. So.
Is it because that somebody gets to you and says, shut the fuck up and quit trying to rob people up?
Here's a couple more million. Shut up. I mean, keep singing the songs you're singing, because, we're going to make millions off you. But
So you have that platform. You have a platform where you could reach 100 million people a week. And somebody comes to you and says you're going to have to worry about nothing the rest of your life if you just shut the fuck up.
Well, it depends. Am I Joe Rogan reaching 100 million people a week? Then fuck them and their money. I don't need their money any damn way.
Right.
Right, but or am I?
Are you too big then to be Clinton too?
Yeah, right.
Well,
you'd be too noticeable.
Yeah.
Be too noticeable.
Yeah.
So be way too noticeable, especially like a guy like just Joe Rogan, for the example, as healthy as he is, be way too noticeable for him to just get sick and die.
Yeah. So how do you get to that point and slide through where it's you miss that they can stop it? You know what I mean? Because there's got to be. I feel like there's a barrier where you could have a certain amount of reach. And either you accept it, the payoff, right, and go through, or somehow miraculously you get through it and you don't need that,
right?
And it's just they can't stop it.
Well, it's like a lottery. It's like especially now because they've got control over all of it now. Yeah. So now they can censor any of it if they want. So you gotta reach like if they went through and they tried to censor JRE, that'd be too noticeable.
Yeah.
Because, everybody would be like, wait a minute, that's out of character. What the fuck's going on here?
Yeah, but what's the growth? Because you got to hit a certain point, like, at a certain speed. Because if not, they could be able to impede it, right?
Right. Well, I think he hit that growth before they had realized
that it was there.
That it was there. Yeah. I think he squeaked in before they realized. I think a lot of them squeaked in before they realized that it was there. And then you got these guys that they do all right. They're not as because he's the biggest one. Mm-hmm. They got these guys that do almost that, but they're just kind of idiots. You know what I mean? They're just a good one. One I like is Bad Friends. Have you seen that one? Mm-hmm. That's Andy Santino and Bobby Lee.
Okay.
Oh, they're two comedians, and they basically
Bobby's funny. Yeah.
Yeah, they basically just rip on each other. Yeah. So like nobody's gonna step in and be like, "Hey, don't talk about with them guys." They're gonna just be like, "Well, these guys are idiots. Let them say whatever the fuck they want." Right. You know what I mean? These guys are kind of dumb. Like nobody's gonna come in and be like, "Hey, don't say that no more." Like to us, like if we got anywhere near anything.
Yeah.
Like if we got to monetization and we were doing good and still growing, nobody's gonna come in and be like, "Hey, don't talk about that no more." Because they're going to look at it and go, these guys are fucking idiots.
Right.
So.
Yeah, because they can't control virality at a point, right? So if you start a certain episode and we say a certain thing and people are like, holy shit, right. And they're like, that's that, and then you go and it grows.
I think it comes to an end anyway soon. I think it comes to a very abrupt end. I think we're at a turn right now because I see some of the things that are happening, like the billions of dollars that are being given away. Mm-hmm. Like we just gave billions to Ukraine again.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody knows. Everybody in the pipe list knows it's a scam. And this goes back to what I was saying before. They know. They know that that's out of popularity now. They know that nobody is supporting that no more. Everybody's going to look at that money being given as, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm fucking trying to feed my kids. You just gave them $8 billion. Yeah. They know. They're very well of the climate that they're working in with the lowest polling president that ever. This guy's lower than the guy who he's lower than Abraham Lincoln was in the South. So the lowest, they know. Yeah. They know. So they're going to pump. That's why they're pumping money out, in my opinion. They're done, and they know they're done. Yeah. That's why they're pumping money out, so that they can set themselves up for the fallout.
Do you think that...
Nobody, and then look at... So, 10 years ago, 2000, not quite 10 years ago, 2015, Israel and Gaza, somewhere in there. I don't remember exactly, but Israel and Gaza has been a big thing before, right?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
It's been a huge thing before, and Israel got all the support. It's not happening this time around. And the reason is because everybody's like, well, wait a fucking minute.
Playing the victim. And
yeah, why the fuck can't these people live? Why the fuck, what's going on? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Why have you been telling us all this time that Taiwan should be free from China's rule, but Gaza shouldn't be free? We shouldn't support China because of what they're doing to Taiwan. Well, China's not blowing Taiwan up. Mm-hmm. So, but there was a shift there this last time around, and that's why. How much have you heard about that lately? There's little blurbs here and there, but they realized that people were like, "Oh fuck," they were like, "Oh fuck," they're not on board, they're not. So I think they're pumping all this money out like this. It's through these fucking, and I said it from day one. Ukraine's a fucking money laundering scheme. It's just a fucking rat hole.
Oh, Ukraine.
That's all it is.
100%.
It's just a rat hole. Yeah. And they proved it when the president went over there. There's never been a president to enter an active war zone without support with the U.S. military. Not a senator. There's never been a politician, period, to go to an active war zone that didn't have American soldiers on the ground and controlling the area.
So it's just
but they've all went to Ukraine.
It's just a show.
Yeah, they've all went to Ukraine.
Think you can talk for 30 seconds?
Think I can talk for 30 seconds about what?
I have to pee.
Again?
Yeah,
Jesus.
sorry, I've been drinking 40
fucking...
ounces of soda at Wonka. Dude, that cup is the biggest thing in the world. It's like 2-gallon cup.
Oh, when'd you leave there?
Like 4, and I ran to Alton.
Oh, for the glizzies?
Yeah, glizzies.
For the glizzies. So we still managed to do 2 hours today. Yeah. Oh, geez. So, yeah, we've been all over the place on this one, of course. We're usually all over the place. That's why we can't ever nail anything down. We can't ever actually have a conversation, like a theme, because we're just all over the fucking place.
So I know we're going to leave soon, but I did have a question about kind of what we're talking about. It's different view, but it could be just a philosophical question, or maybe it's just universal. But we were talking about it last night when we were driving to Melissa's mom's. We were talking about it today too. I feel like, and it could just be what happens as you get older, but I feel like it was just Christmas. Like it was a snap. Like it was not even, I can't even remember what happened this year. Like it was just so fast, and every year it seems to get faster.
I don't, that's time. That's your version of time, because I don't feel that way.
Okay. So it's just like this, it's like the velocity of things, you know? Like I don't, so it's not, you don't think it's like things are ramping up or?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't feel that way. I think this last month has drug on, just absolutely drug on. So, and this last week has really drug on for me because, like I said, I've been having all that anxiety and shit, and it's just fucking, I don't know why it slows time down. Seems to slow, probably because I'm counting hours and days.
Yeah, because you're in it.
Yeah, my head is fucking fucked up, saying I'm counting hours and days, and so therefore, when you count hours, that's why they took the clock out in county jail. That's why I was telling somebody that when 2017, I was like, there used to be a clock over there. And I go, oh, yeah, I remember the clock, too. And I said, they probably took it down because every time you looked at it, it was fucking 1 a.m. You look at it and you go to sleep, and a couple hours had passed, you look up, and it was like 1:03 a.m. Like, what the fuck? That's probably why they took it out. But that's just the way. I don't know. I don't feel that way. You've just been busier. You've had a lot more going on.
Okay.
So that's what it is. So
I just don't know how to like slow it down, you know, like to
gotta quit having so much going on. That's the only way to slow it down. Just gotta fucking stop having all this shit going on.
Yeah.
So that's probably why my month has dragged on, because I've had absolutely nothing going on. So I've not been doing any fucking thing.
Like I don't want anything going on. Like I want to just be like able to hang and kick it with the kids and hang with the family and my friend and you guys, like, but it's like, dude, it's like you wake up, it's work, and it's been 12 hours, and you're done, and you're home, and it's again, and it's again, and it's again. So it's just feel like everything's accelerating, and when you're trying to do things on top of it, like get things organized or set up, it's just like, fuck, man.
Right.
Not enough hours.
Just one last topic before we leave.
Yeah.
Every Christmas, I got this thing on my Facebook page. This page, I guess it's a page, the Dutch Atheist.
Okay.
And I noticed something this year that got on my fucking nerves. They got atheists are so prevalent and just poking it, poking it. And I don't understand. This year I seen one. The one I seen this year, the post I seen. You know, everybody's Merry Christmas, and then this Dutch Atheist page is like, oh, don't forget, blah, 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 blah. And, you know, it's fucking atheism shit.
Yeah, Saturnalia and
all that shit. It's fucking annoying. Like, that's just fucking annoying. Leave people alone. Why do you gotta, why? What's the fucking point?
Yeah.
Why you gotta prove?
Because they're just trying to prove that they're...
Yeah, you don't believe. You're an atheist. We get it.
They're superior because they know the thing.
Right, but it's
here's
annoying.
The thing, like, traditions are traditions, right? And so, like, it's fine. But I think that things, whether they're true or not, like, if you have enough people supporting it, it creates an energy, creates a vibration, and it has power.
Right.
So any movement, whether it's fake or it's not true or not, can have power if there's enough people supporting it, right?
Right.
So I don't want to mess up some people's. I wouldn't give a shit if somebody was celebrating fucking because it's the goat's birthday, whatever today. Like
right.
Whatever,
yeah.
Cool,
whatever, dude.
Have fun, yeah. Cause I saw that on Instagram, and it was somebody said like it was like a meme or whatever, and it said, "My face when I see all these Christians leaving out milk and food offerings for a spirit, for somebody to bring it, them presents or something,
right?
Like an offering for a spirit.
Well, it is an offering. Yeah, it's very much an offering.
Yeah, the milk and cookies.
It's very much a ritual and an offering.
Yeah, they're saying,
the whole thing's ritualistic.
Yeah, and so they're saying, these Christians don't know that they're being pagan and all that shit. Like they're
right.
So much
Who
better.
Gives a fuck?
Yeah, who gives a fuck? Like
who cares?
Yeah, you know it. So what does it matter? Like
it doesn't fucking nobody cares. It's not. It's not, everybody celebrates it, even whether you're Christian or not. Everybody celebrates it, except unless you're some religion that celebrates a different thing. Everybody celebrates it. Nobody gives a fuck.
And just because you know the truth, or what's supposed to be the truth,
it's because you know your truth,
right? But at the same time, I don't. It's okay for me because it's changed my view on things, on why things are, right?
Right.
And so that's cool, but I don't need to force that on somebody else, or even to have them know. They can find it themselves if they want to.
That's the agnostic in me. It's your truth.
Yeah.
You don't know. Yeah. You don't. Listen, there's got to be. It's got to have came from someplace. Mm-hmm. It's all come from one source somewhere at some point. Every single story about every single Dionysus, Zeus, Mirtha, Horus, Jesus, God. It's all come from somewhere at some point in time from one fucking source, from the Sumerians most likely. It's all come from one source somewhere at some point in time. You really don't know what that source was.
Yeah, and people twist and turn.
And how it changed and why it changed and why it fit this at this time and why it was good at this time. And you don't really fucking know.
Yeah, how much of those stories were stolen, shifted, twisted by the Catholic Church because of greed.
But but what I'm saying is at some point in time there had to have been something.
A singularity, right? Yeah.
There had to have been something. And it had to have been real enough to stop hunter and gatherers, to make them stop hunting and gathering and write it down.
Yeah.
I mean, they had no purpose to write this shit down. None. Mm-hmm. So Sumeria was supposedly the first civilization, and that's because they stopped. They had agriculture and they were writing. They had written language. Agriculture and written language. That's what makes a civilization.
Göbekli Tepe was before them?
Maybe. I don't know. It's always been Schumer, as far as I know. I don't know, maybe. So something had to make these people stop and write all this stuff down instead of fucking farming, because you still got to be busy. Yeah. All right, you got to plant, you got to take care, you got to get the crops up, whatever the fuck you got to harvest. Mm-hmm. You got to prepare the food now, and then there's still a lot of shit to do. Somebody's got to make the houses. Somebody's got to make whatever tools they had for doing all this shit at the time. Somebody's got to cook all this shit. Somebody's got to tend to these people. Somebody's got to tend to these. There's still all this shit to do. So something had to make them stop and go, I need to write this down. This is important. I need to write it down. This needs to be wrote down. So no matter what it is, you don't know what it was or what it is or why it is now what it is. I mean, this could be, I think that the religion's wrong, but the God could still be the same thing as it was then that they were writing about. You don't know. So why go out of your way to why? I get it if somebody's being a fucking dickhead. You know what I mean? I'll pray for you. You're going to hell. I get it. I get that because I'm that guy. Oh, yeah? Yeah, well, I'll save you a seat, bud. Maybe you should pray for yourself. It's because your book says not to do that. What you just did, you're not supposed to do. So, I mean, I'm that guy, but just to go out of your way, to spread some bullshit, I found it annoying today. I thought it was annoying, very annoying.
Well, it's kind of on the nose too, doing it on the day, you know?
Right.
And it's like, hey, talk about it in
distasteful.
June, you know, if that, you know, you don't got to ruin people's shit.
Right, distasteful, just annoying and distasteful, uncalled for.
Yeah, what would Jesus do?
So, right, smack motherfuckers up. If you read the book right.
Like Prodigy, he had smack my bitch up in his AirPods and just fucking lighten him up.
Right.
That's fucking funny.
He'd hang out with a bunch of whores and miscreants. Yeah. That's what he would do.
I mean, he knew where the fun was.
I mean, that's what he did. Yeah. So,
I mean, the best people are the people who've experienced life and, you know, have not had it easy. So, if all you've ever had is a silver spoon, that's all you ever know, you know, and just a gamut of experiences in life that people don't often get to have.
Right.
You know, so.
Right.
I'd rather hang out in a room full of everybody like us than any fancy motherfuckers. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Well, I don't know. Fancy motherfuckers get you further.
But they're not. There's no genuine.
Put a suit and tie on, see if I can get some money.
I mean, we could suit up, dude. We're talking about. Let's suit up.
Put a fucking suit and tie on. Join a Hollywood party. Maybe I can get somebody to give me some money.
Oh, man.
Work my way in.
Mm-hmm.
Right. At least work my way in enough I can blackmail them. Get some money that way.
Yeah. Set up some
good old,
and shit.
Some good old Jeffrey Epstein shit. And get them.
Get them.
Can
you believe that we went 2 hours?
Oh, yeah. I can believe we went 2 hours. 2 hours and nothing again.
Hey, but we can, I mean, I can keep talking, dude. It's just fun.
Right. 2 hours and nothing again. All right. Well, you probably need to go back home.
You know what? I think I think that there is some, like, in there's sprinkled.
Sprinkles.
There's sprinkles of greatness that, like, you know, like.
Sprinkles of greatness.
That you should listen to and accept the wisdom if you're a youngster.
Right. There's a lot of wisdom.
Yeah, I mean, there is. I said, you listen to shitheads because they know what they're talking about.
Right.
They really do. Unless they're being complete douchebags and telling you how you should live your life.
Yeah, not everybody's stupid. Just because their station in life is different than yours, not everybody's stupid.
Yeah.
So.
And that's the problem, I think, with a lot of people who think that money matters. Or they're anything like that matters because they think that instantly they have something over you and.
You can gain an education. All you have to do is want it. I mean, being stupid is I told somebody that the other day. I don't even remember what I was talking about. I was talking to somebody about something, and he says, "Well, prove it." Right? He wants an article to prove what I was saying, and I go, "Well, you know," he wanted the website. You got a link to prove what you were saying, and I just wrote www.google.com, and I said, because you know, being stupid is a choice these days. And he didn't come back and respond. So don't fucking look this shit up, bud. Come on. It's a choice now. You don't have to remain stupid. It's not even stupid. You don't have to remain ignorant. You're stupid if you remain ignorant. That's what it is.
And the problem is that you can tell how smart somebody really is or how intelligent their mind processes things by what they accept as truth, right? Because you can go surface level and get something that's like been spawned by whoever past media, right? And so that's their truth.
Right.
But if you can sift past all the bullshit and get to maybe something that's unbiased on both sides, that is a truth.
What you have to think about is there's still an entire generation out there that grew up and they've lived their entire lives, the news told the truth.
Yeah.
Their entire lives, the news told the truth.
The ones older than us, right?
Yeah, they didn't lie. Yeah. But they raised people the same way. The news tells the truth. And then you only a few subset of people that were raised with the news telling, like this new generation, they know. This new generation's going to know. Mm-hmm. Like the generation before, they're just falling for the bullshit on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I don't watch the mass media. Yeah, somebody's paying your pundit, bud.
Yeah.
Somebody's paying your fucking ongoing boy. I don't know the dude's name. Dan Bongino or whatever the fuck his name. Somebody's paying him. Mm-hmm. Because he's not doing that for free. He's getting paid. And he's getting paid to reach a target audience. He's got a target audience. He's getting paid. So he's getting paid to say the things that target audience, that he knows that target audience will agree with, because otherwise he'll lose his audience. If he disagrees, he'll lose his audience. So he's going to repeat whatever nonsense fits that outline, even if George Soros isn't writing him fucking checks. Mm-hmm. Somebody's writing him a check. You're writing him a check by watching. He's getting a check for saying these things. He's going to continue to repeat these things because if he doesn't, then his check's going to go away.
Right.
So it's not listen to the guys who ain't receiving a check.
Yeah.
So listen to the guys that ain't getting fucking paid or not getting paid much any fucking way, right? I mean, YouTube is one of the worst, and I know we're on YouTube, but it's one of the worst. Them YouTube pundits are the worst for that shit.
So, have you looked at Spotify, putting us on Spotify?
I think Spotify costs money
to put us on there.
Yeah, I don't know.
So
I haven't. So I've been going to invest, and I haven't done it, but I've been going to investigate Patreon so that I can get the 18 pluses off the page.
So, if you didn't want to break it up, the Spotify does have video podcasts, right? Option to post. So I need to look up how we do it. I already have a paid subscription, so like that doesn't matter. I can just post it on name it our podcast or your whatever.
Right.
But it can be posted on there. The same I'm assuming the same video and audio file as on YouTube, but it's it's much easier to share that, and like people can just get on it and get it, and it's great. Like, so that could be another place to post it, and I just give you my login, I think, and we can do it. We'll figure it out, but that's another place to put it. And there's no 18 plus label on there.
Right. So the 18 plus has me worried because the problem with the 18 plus is, say we reach monetization, YouTube can come in and give us checks for those 18 pluses anytime they fucking want, and we lose monetization anytime they want. They can just come back and go, oh well, there was this one, and then now it's a check.
Right.
And anytime they want, they can come in and censor based on those 18 pluses. So if we get them off, I mean, they can do it any fucking way. They can go through and find.
So can you delete the ones that are 18 plus, or then we lose them?
Well, that's what I'm saying. If I delete them, we'll lose them. Well, we won't lose them. I'll have them. They're on the hard drive still. But I would like to delete them from there and move them to Patreon, and then probably just give the Patreon away for free. I don't know. That's what I want to look at, see how that works. If you can just get on it for free, because I don't think we've got anything. Yeah. Maybe at a later date, charge for it. Yeah. More popularity charge for it. But right now we don't have enough. Yeah. So, but I think you can give Patreon. I don't know how it works. I don't know if you have to pay for Patreon. I don't know. I haven't looked into it yet. So, but I've been gonna look at getting the 18 pluses off so that there's less of a chance if we ever hit monetization of YouTube coming along and just going,
So what's still missing for that?
What?
The monetization.
A lot. Watch hours mostly. I mean, we're 300 shy of we're 292, I think, shy of followers, which probably wouldn't be too hard to get. And we're like 3,500 shy, 2,500 shy of watch hours.
Oh, wow.
You have to have 4,000 watch hours in a year, 365.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So
it's got to be, it's the consistency of it. It's not just a total.
So, and you can't cheat it because I've tried. Mm-hmm. So I don't know how these guys are cheating it because I tried. Well, they're doing it with Spotify. Like these guys up here, they can get that. Brad can go and get a bunch of fucking cell phones, and just create a cell phone for you. Yep. And then just go, all right, we're going to listen to this dude's fucking song. All these phones are now queuing up this song, right? Mm-hmm. And that's, to Spotify, that's an individual hit each time. And that's traffic, and then that's paid. Mm-hmm. That's money. Mm-hmm. So they do that. They have cell phone farms where they do that. And so, but you can't do that with YouTube because I tried to watch the podcast to get the watch hours up. I set it to play one after another on another phone I've got, and it's a different account. And I set it to play over and over and over and over. So figure 2 hours a time, 108. That's what? 2 hours at 108. That's what? Like 400 hours of watch time, something like that. Yeah, but our watch time didn't go up a bit. And it played for 2 days.
I think it's for like one account. So all I'll do is at the office, I'll open it up on my computer screen, right? Mm-hmm. And I'll have it open, playing all day long.
Right.
And I've gone and checked, like you're saying, and it didn't increase it.
Nope.
Because I think because I've already watched it all the way through, it won't give me 2 more hours on my account.
But I didn't watch it. So why didn't it count?
Not like 400 hours. I'm saying like just one.
Dude, I left it on this phone plugged in, and I set this phone up to not shut off, not turn off, to leave the screen on while the video was played, and all I did was turn the volume down. And I left this phone sitting, plugged in, and running like a playlist all through the episodes. Sat like that for 2 days. I think it was on like 72 or something like that when it was all said and done. And our watch hours did not go up.
Damn.
So 72, our watch hours should have gone at 2 hours an episode, roughly. We'll just say that's the medium. 72 hour watch hours should have went up, like 150 hours or something like that. Yeah, they didn't go up at all. Didn't budge. So I don't know how it works. So I've been trying to figure that out. So
I wonder if it's the sheer volume.
I've been sitting while I'm doing nothing. Every once in a while, I'll go over at my laptop and try and figure out how to make this go. You know what I mean? How to fucking do something here. So. Yep, I don't know.
I think it's good. I'll figure out the Spotify shit. Can I say one thing before you're done?
Sure.
Yeah. So, early in the episode, if you're still watching, or if you didn't watch and you're watching now at the end, we talked about the advocacy for people who have genetic abnormalities or problems and how important they are in the world and support them. So, I want to give a shout out to my sister, Rose, and her daughter and my niece, Lavender. She's done a great job raising her. If you are facing a situation where a doctor is telling you that you should end a pregnancy because of a genetic abnormality, or are feeling unsure if you should continue, maybe follow her page on Facebook. It's called Loving Lavender. She advocates and she explains to you all the truths that a lot of the medical professionals don't disclose or won't accept, but are the truth. She should have not been born or had passed at a week of age, and she's now 7. And so the truth they tell you is not always the truth. So please research for yourself, and that's what I wanted to say.
All righty, we'll end it on a low note.
No, high note. And happy birthday, Lavender.
No, that's great. It's made it 7 years, so... Yeah. I was always curious. I didn't want to be out of bounds asking, but I was curious. I kept seeing. I see you posting the pictures and stuff.
It's never out of bounds. She's wonderful, and I appreciate you asking about her.
So I see all the pictures, and I'm like, well, what's going on? I don't understand. So you don't know what's going on. So it's hopeful, man. It's I don't having health anxiety, and there's nothing wrong with you. Mm-hmm. And then you see people that there is something wrong with them. And it's like, how do they do it? How do they make it through? How do they just live? How do they not? You know what I mean? Like, there is something wrong with you. It is coming. You know it's coming. How do they make it? It's just, I always my mind goes there all the time. I
know we got to go. But on that front, like, I spiral occasionally in my own head when I think about,
right,
because my stuff's still not done,
right.
So I think that when I was talking about the speed of things, I think that I thought about it, and it's probably because I try to stay so busy that I don't think about anything. But if you have that time to pause and think, you're like, oh fuck, and so that can lead to that spiral too. So
I can tell you that couple years ago I started therapy, and somebody suggested, and I haven't been doing it because I don't know, I just passed it a little bit, but somebody had suggested that you just sit, put your phone down and be bored, not do no TV on, nothing, just like sit like in a room like this and just sit. So every once in a while, if you come in, you've probably seen me do it before. I've not had the radio or nothing on, and the phone's down, and I'm just kind of sitting here.
Yeah,
that's just practicing being bored, because remember when we were kids, we were bored all the fucking time.
Yeah.
We haven't been bored in a long fucking time. And these things create anxiety. You can't tell me they don't.
Yeah,
they do.
Yeah.
So, alrighty, that was 108. So, we will give Mike all kinds of shit next week when he shows up for not being here this week. So,
but you know what?
And saying he was going to be here.
He got to spend the day and evening with his lovely woman, and I'm sure that it was fantastic.
There you go. I mean, we all could have done that, Mike. Mm-hmm. But we all agreed to be here, buddy. We all agreed to